This isn't something to put off another day. On the field of life, Beaver Bear, Michael Trout, State Farm, Scott City.
When you want plain talk with exceptional results, count on Norder Supply to serve you. With over 40 years of experience in the crop protection business, the dedicated team at Norder Supply is passionate about assisting you in achieving maximum net return per acre by delivering unparalleled agronomic advice and best in customer service. That's how they define success. To serve you better, they have an aerial application service and do it all for a very competitive rate. Call them today at 620-872-3058. Norder Supply. Plain talk, exceptional results.
We all know the weather in western Kansas changes daily, and that's why your Ream specialist, Pro Heating and Cooling, is there for service. Pro Heating and Cooling services all brands of utilities, gas fireplaces, gas piping, and sheeting. They service for both residential and commercial units. For those of us, 19 West Coast Street in Scott City, Pro Heating and Cooling, Scott City Beavers.
Great Western Tire is happy to be Scott City. They have what you need. Great Western Tire is your source. Kelly, and Titan. Rexford. Also, Power Hard Gas. Oil change, climbing. Tire open Monday through Friday, Saturdays 8 to 1. Location, Kobe and Scott City.
Tell me more.
Welcome back to the Scott Community Events Center. I'm Adam Kadavy here on Mix 94.5. Your pregame interview brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services with Hugoton Board Events in Scott City and Leota. Joined here with Coach Amy Felker here in the pregame, and thanks again for joining me here this evening, Coach. It was a good effort. Just kind of ran out of steam there on Friday night in that championship game of the Sterling Invitational against the Hugoton Lady Eagles in a 51-37 loss. Some good moments in the game, just for whatever reason, that late third quarter on, just could not get a field goal.
The first part, the girls were ready to play, and we worked hard. Defensively and offensively, we were getting the right shots. You know, then they switched defense up, and they started really double teaming some of our plays, and we just need to get some of those other girls to step up and have confidence in taking some of those shots late in the game. But you know, we're going to make some adjustments and be ready for tonight.
It felt like, maybe I'm wrong on this, hopefully I think I'm a little bit right, but it felt like just watching the tournament as a whole, you really, of course you had Erica and Brooke with big games, and Erica being an all-tournament team player, but it felt like you were getting some good opportunities, some good shots, and some confidence from Cheyenne and also Kendall and Avery as well.
You know, all those girls are really starting to have confidence. They know where their shot is and when to take it, and you know, it's just becoming easier and more of a habit to look to score and that kind of stuff. And that's really going to help us in this push late here. We just got to continue to get better and go from there.
Going to be kind of rinse and repeat with the same opponent here tonight. With Hugoton, you got to see Michaelin for the first time there, and taking a look at what they had there, they just look like a different team.
You know, when you add a third key element to their team, you know, they just get a lot better. She's not quite 100%, but she's way up there. She did a great job. She's already attacking the basket, shooting the ball well, so having her out there really plays some problems for our defense. We're going to have to really step up and try to shut all three of them down. Not necessarily shut them down, but slow them down.
Coach Amy Felker here pregame as Scott City faces Hugoton tonight. This one counts for the league schedule there for league standings, but mentioned Hugoton. Of course, you guys faced them on Friday night. Is it unusual to be in this situation? It's almost like a regular season, a sub-state deal in a way, but taking a look at Hugoton, what are some things that you maybe need to change up to pull out a victory?
We're going to switch up some things on the defense. We're going to try somebody different on Hamlin. She really had a great game against us. So we're going to work really hard defensively, switching up our man and our zone. We're going to maybe switch to a 3-2 rather than a 2-3 just to give them something different to look at. Offensively, we've got to see when they double team Erica and Brooke and really have those other three that are on the court step up and have confidence in their shot.
You gotta like the fact also that you've seen Brooke really become an assist type of player when everybody's doubling down, and you're going to get in that part of the schedule where you have repeat teams, and now you have that opportunity to adjust to what maybe teams have seen from you the first time around.
Brooke has really grown in her game this last week. They were really taking her game away, and she was really good about finding the other post that was in or the perimeter shooters on the outside. So she really continued to be a strong presence, but as well expand her game and be just a threat all over the court.
Should be a good one here tonight with Scott City and Hugoton. Final time that Scott City will see them here, and it wraps up an 18-day stretch with Scott City and Hugoton. Coach Amy Felker here in the pregame, and Coach, thanks for the time and good luck to you guys.
Thanks, Adam.
That was Scott City Lady Beaver Coach Amy Felker. A pregame interview brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services with Hugoton Eagles and Scott City and Leota. More to come in your pregame show, breakdown of the matchup. Also bring your starters, keys of the game, and the tip-off after this timeout. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
To us, it's about so much more than just providing the technology. It's about enriching the communities we live in. Because your community is our community. Where you live, where you work, where you play, we do too. Whatever you do, and wherever you are, our service supports you. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
There's nothing more spacious than Western Kansas, and nobody closer than our communities. We are determined to keep our communities connected to schools, kids to teachers and parents. We believe a connected world is a better place. We are more than what we do for our hometowns. It's what we do with our hometowns. S&T is proud to be your family, your friends, your neighbor.
on the year. Cimarron at 10-2. By the way, Goodland is down the road tonight. They are taking on Garden City. 24 hours ago, the Cowgirls, they beat Colby by 20 to win their first Orange and Black championship since 1986. Cimarron mentioned 10-2. They're off tonight. Holcomb right behind them at 9-3. Those two teams still have to play each other, I believe, here in a couple of weeks here. Colby will be at the 9-4. They have the night off here. Lakin at 7-3. And also coming up here, Scott City at 6-6. They're the number 6 spot, and then Larned and Southwestern Heights are both 3-10 on the year. Both Larned and Southwestern Heights have the night off. On the boys' side, Colby, they started out 11-0, but they dropped 2 in a row. They dropped one to Beloit and then to Hayes in the Colby Orange and Black last weekend. Holcomb is at 8-4 there, 2.5 games back. Goodland at 6-5. Scott City at 6-6. Lakin at 5-5. Larned at 4-9. Cimarron at 3-8. And Southwestern Heights at 1-12. As that's how that's set up. So really Scott City's kind of in the thick of things, kind of in that middle of the pack, and really it's going to turn out to be a wide open sub-state when they get that seeded here in about a month. But Goodland at Garden City, Lakin, they're actually on the road tonight at Syracuse, and Hugoton and Scott City, those are the only games being played tonight for sub-state teams. So 3 of them are in action tonight. The league standings coming into tonight, Goodland is, on the girls' side is at 2-0 in the league. Colby at 1-0. Holcomb and Scott City have yet to play a league matchup. Cimarron, Hugoton, and Ulysses are all 0-1. Goodland has knocked off Cimarron and Hugoton. Colby's knocked off Ulysses there. On the boys' side, Colby and Hugoton, the lone unbeaten teams, at 1-0. And then Goodland is at 1-0. They lost to Hugoton, beat Cimarron. Holcomb and Scott City still without a league game. That'll change tonight here. Ulysses and Cimarron are both 0-1. In the league tonight, the league games on the road mentioned Hugoton, Scott City, and Goodland Garden City. Ulysses, they're 24 miles to the west of us here. They're in Leota as they take on the Wichita County Indians. And now I'm going to say it's probably been a long, long time since those teams have played each other. And go back history into 50 years ago, they were actually all in the WKEA. I believe Ulysses was in that, if I'm not mistaken. I know Hugoton was back then, but so Ulysses and Wichita County playing in Leota tonight. Cimarron, Colby, and Holcomb all have the night off. All right, so breaking down this girls' game here tonight with Scott City and Hugoton. It was a really good battle there through 3 quarters. Hugoton kind of took control in that middle of the 3rd quarter after Scott City had built up a nice 4-point lead, and then Hugoton took the 4-point lead going into the 4th quarter at 39-35, and Scott City could not hit a field goal for the final 9.5 minutes of the game, and fell 51-37. Hugoton outscored Scott City in the final 8 minutes, 12-2. The only points belonged at the free throw line for the Lady Beavers in that 4th quarter. And it was a game where it was a big night for Mike and Hamlin. She had 22 points in that game, and her best game of the year. She's slowly coming back from an ACL injury. She suffered over the summer, and Hugoton has won now 3 in a row. It matches their season high of wins in a row. And when they won in December, a couple of games in the Hayes City shootout, and then the Southwestern Heights game. Then they dropped 3 in a row, and then they went 1-1 2 weeks ago with Hooker and Goodland. But they have been road warriors. They have had their last 6 games, including tonight, outside of their own gymnasium. But that'll change for them. They'll host Ulysses on Friday, and then they'll have 3 in a row with Colby, Cimarron, Syracuse, and then go to Ulysses and host Holcomb to wrap up the regular season. But it's been a team that's been on the road a lot here as of late. Have the Hugoton Eagles, both the boys and girls, but Hugoton 7-5 and 0-1 in the conference. Their lone loss was to Goodland, a game that really saw Goodland at the time being pushed the most. Hugoton actually had a lead going into the locker room, but Goodland had a big run in the 4th quarter and beat them 54-46. But you have the feeling Scott City feels like they can play with this Hugoton team, even with the somewhat full arsenal with Mike and Hamlin back in the lineup, and Samaya and Gianna Voss, really the two that have been back in action. And really, having Hamlin back for them has been big. It takes a lot of pressure off of Voss and Adigan. But, you've seen Salazar really step up at times. She had a 16-point performance last Tuesday. And then you also had Emily Tinoco. She's really coming along as a freshman as well. She had a big game against Southeast Saline in the semifinals last Thursday at the tournament there in Sterling. A team that averages 42 points a game. Scott City, on the other hand, they've really had a good tournament. You really saw some of their key main players really start to grow. And I mean, of course, you figure in Erica and Brooke. They both had double-doubles in their win over Lions. Erica had 13 and 8 against Hugoton in the semifinals, and Brooke Strine had a 7-point and I believe 8 or 9 rebounds against Hugoton on Friday night, and they really collapsed on her, did a good job of taking her after she had that double-double. The first meeting between the two programs, 14 days apart. This would be a fun matchup, but really Scott City's seen Kendall Gentry have a pretty good, she really shot the ball more confident, even though she did have a couple of field goals and 5 points. She shot the ball from the floor with a little bit more confidence. Cheyenne Kramer did a lot through that tournament last week, really was a good rebounder for Scott City, and even was a scorer. She had 6 against Hugoton. She was really consistent scoring. Avery Lewis had a big game against Kingman when they needed some points, and she had 11 points in that game against Kingman when Scott City put up their season high of 65 points. And so Lewis can come off the bench with that capability as well. And Mackenzie Metzger has been an assist machine as well, and Brooke has done a good job. She's been double teamed and kicking it out to the open person and finding that as well. Scott City, they've bumped up their points per game over the last few games, 45 points a contest and 28 rebounds a game, and they've done a better job with the turnovers, and they've been more consistent at the foul line, even though they were just 5 of 10 against Hugoton in the championship game. Well, this is the third meeting between these two programs for a second straight year. Scott City won the first meeting on the 6th of January, 45-42 at Hugoton, after Hugoton had clawed all the way back from a 7-point deficit to within 1 in the fourth quarter. And then it was Hugoton who pulled away on Friday night, 51-37, with a 12-2 run in the fourth quarter for that victory. Hugoton does lead the series since 1989, 28-13, and they've won the last 2 in this building. And in fact, that's all 2 games they've met up in this building they've won. In 2021, it was 57-21. Last year, it was 51-38. It was a game that Scott City led by 1 at halftime, and Hugoton would come out in the second half and with a big run and win that one 51-38. But of course, the last meeting last year was 59-36. And it should be a fun one here. Of course, Hugoton bumping up to 4A, so that makes things a little different. These two teams won't see each other this year. Hugoton right now in that middle of the pack in the 4A standings. We'll step aside for this timeout. We'll have your starters, we'll have your keys, and of course your opening tip-off between Scott City and Hugoton and GLAC play. Back after this timeout, this is Scott City Beaver basketball. 5, also on the Beaver Broadcasting Network tonight. Near and far, wherever you are, thanks for tuning in. As we get to your starting lineups tonight, they are brought to you by Security State Bank in Scott City and pre-built pay and online banking, safe, secure, and easy to use. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. For the Hugoton Eagles, coached by Emmanuel Adigan. He's in his 6th year, I believe, already, and he has had a pretty good run there, 92 and 38. They've been to state at least 3 times I can remember. And his first year, they finished 3rd in 4A Division II. Of course, in 2021, they were tied for 3rd there, and then last year in the state championship game, they were 23-3 and fell to Goodland by 1, but a good team this year. Emily Tanoka, the 5'6" freshman, gets the start, averaging 2.3 points, 1.6 rebounds a game. Julian Salazar, she's a 5'6" senior at 4.5 points, 1.5 boards a contest. Gianna Boss, the 5'9" senior, 14.4 points, 5 boards per game. Samaya Adigan, the 5'8" senior, 13 points and 9 boards, 4 assists a game. And Martin Hamlin, she is averaging 10.2 points and 3 boards. She is a 5'8" senior. Once again, Hugoton coached by Emmanuel Adigan, assisted by Jeff Ramsey and Ray Kennedy. For the Scott City Lady Beavers, coached by Amy Felker in her 3rd season, assisted by Erin Myers. She has a 20-35 record here in Scott City overall, 261 and 186. That includes her run at Dighton as well. It'll be the same 5 for Scott City. Brendan Stevens, the 5'6" junior, averaging 1 point and 2 rebounds a game. Kendall Gentry, the 5'3" sophomore, 4.7 points, 3.3 boards a contest. Brooke Stein, the 6'1" senior, 14.8 points, 9 rebounds a game. Erica Felker, who is named voted the most inspirational player of the Sterling Invitation on the girls' side, the 5'6" junior, 15.3 points, 4.6 boards a game. She really had a big game scoring-wise there at Sterling last week. And Cheyenne Kramer, the 5'9" junior, averages 3.5 points and 3.7 rebounds a game. Brindley Stevens, Kendall Gentry, Brooke Stein, Erica Felker, and Cheyenne Kramer, the starting 5 on the floor tonight for Scott City. As those are your keys to the game, presented by State Farm agent Michael Trout. Let's go to your keys to the game here, presented by State Farm agent Michael Trout, where you go with the proven winner. When it comes to insurance, they score big with their policy holders. Let's see, keys to the game here for Scott City. For Scott City here tonight. Keys for them here, they have to really continue to pound it in the paint here to Stein. You've got to keep the main players in front of you, of course, the big 3 for Hugoton. Scott City wins the tap as we're underway here. And Scott City will move from left to right as I see it in their home white uniforms. They dump it into Stein, or try to, but right there they immediately triple team her in a turnover early on. As Hugoton races down, they miss the layup, the follow-up, no. For Adigan, 2 shots and done, and Scott City clears the boards with Stein. No score, 22 seconds played in this game. In the Stein's hands, and she can't handle it. 2 possessions already for Scott City, 2 turnovers. And Voss brings it across, and now they work it left side. Now they work it right side to Hamlin. Right baseline to Samaya Adigan. Adigan with it back up top to Hamlin. She'll fire a 3, and that'll be well short, but right in the hands of Erica Felker for Scott City. So both teams have struggled. Well, Scott City has not attempted a shot, and they have their 3rd turnover in 3 possessions. 2-and-1 number. Salazar layup blocked in the late contact, and the official Jared Martin calls the foul and the hack on Scott City. The first team foul on the Lady Beavers. That'll be a foul on Erica Felker. Salazar to the line. She's a 5'6" senior. 2 free throws coming up for her. First to 2 is short. Averages 4.5 points a game for Hugoton. She is a 5'6" senior and her 2nd year starting for the Lady Eagles. That one is good. Second free throw puts Hugoton up 1-0. 7:08 to go, first quarter of play. Into the front court it goes to Erica Felker. And now underneath into Cheyenne Kramer back up top. Felker, she'll try a triple. Yes! Good ball movement, and Scott City needs good rotation. Felker with her 25th three, 3-1, 6:45 to go first quarter. And now here's Hugoton back on the other end. Salazar, here's Voss. She'll drive in. Her floater in the paint off to the right. Got her own rebound and bounces it out to Hamlin. Up top to Adigan. She'll turn down the three, drive in left side. Salazar will try a triple. She'll be too strong, and the ball will be tracked down in the corner by Cheyenne Kramer. So Hugoton so far 0 for 5 from the floor, as Scott City has a 3-1 lead here. And underneath the Kramer shot blocked. Got her own rebound from Strine, kicks it out to Gentry. And a whistle and a foul out high with 6:07 to go first quarter. Hugoton commits their first foul. First team foul as Salazar picks up the personal foul. 6:07 to go first quarter. Ball is stolen away. Already 4 turnovers and 4 steals for Hugoton. In transition, Salazar pulls up, then flips it back. Mid-post right for Hamlin. Leaves it short. Rebound. Strine had it. Ripped away into the hands of Hamlin. She'll go up, and then it's a foul on the floor. And with 5:56 to go here in the opening quarter, already Scott City with 2 fouls. Brindley Stevens picks up the foul, her first, team second. 5:56 to go first quarter. 3-1 for Scott City. Up top now to Adigan. They work it around to Voss. Scott City playing his zone. Voss will drive right side, kick it to Salazar, who dribbles it toward the top of the key. Now uses up a dribble back over left to Adigan. Adigan drives right, guarded by Gentry. Adigan almost lost her footing. And now here's Voss right side, turns down the three, drives in, back up top. Here's Adigan. They play a weave, and now right side. And now loose is turnover number 1. Here's still Kendall Gentry. Stops, and she travels with it. She picked up the wrong foot. 5th turnover. Good effort. This ball looked like it went dribbled off of Salazar's foot that time, and Gentry with a steal, but she cannot make Hugoton pay as she travels on the other end. So back over it goes to Hugoton. 3-1 Scott City lead. 5 minutes to go first quarter. Up top with it. Now they're working around the backside. They nice screen set up for Voss. Eye off the glass. Good. Adigan setting the screen for Voss. And Hugoton ties it up for 3-3. 5 minutes to go first quarter. That was a nice backdoor screen that time. The ball deflected out, and it'll still stay with the Lady Beavers. As Coach Amy Felker sends 2 to check in. Avery Lewis and Mackenzie Metzger, the sophomores, in for Cheyenne Kramer and Brindley Stevens. As we've seen last couple of games, Coach Felker going to a 7-player rotation here. Strine with it, goes left to Gentry. She'll launch a 3. She'll bury the 3. Gentry with her 9th triple of the year, and Scott City with 2 threes already, up 63 with 4:40 to go first quarter. Right now you can see she's getting some really good shots and getting that to go. Voss will drive in. She'll draw the foul on the floor, and that was a Metzger foul. That's her first, the team's 3rd here with 4:37 to work first period. 6-3 Scott City lead. Strine's been able to do here as of late when teams really collapse on her. She's been able to kick it out for some open shots. Hamlin ball deflected by Gentry, but into the hands of Voss. As Scott City goes to that zone defense still, left side, Hamlin now left baseline to Samayag and looking to drive in on Lewis. They'll throw it back up top. Here's Voss, turns down the 3, drives to the foul line, pull-up jumper off the back iron, and the rebound to Brooke Strine, who has her 2nd board of the game. 6-3 Scott City lead with the ball as we're at the midway point of period number 1 here from the Scott Community Event Center. Strine holds it, now right side to Metzger. Right baseline to Avery Lewis. Wraparound pass to Felker. They're working around to Gentry. She'll try another 3 from the left wing. That'll bounce off, and the rebound in the hands of Emily Tinoco for Hugoton. Halfway mark first quarter, 6-3 Scott City lead. Hugoton's ball. Voss turns down the 3, quickly guarded, but Hamlin will take it for the tie. Too strong. Ball will be tracked down by Samai Adigan for Hugoton, and they'll have another crack at it. The Eagles only 1 field goal so far here in the first 4+ minutes of the ball game. Scott City 2 of 4 from the floor, but they already have 5 turnovers. Adigan with it, now just outside the foul line, drives to her right, takes it to the rack, her scoop shot short, and the rebound goes to Erica Felker. Felker with a couple of boards already in this quarter. Scott City with a 6-3 lead in the ball. 3:18 to go first quarter. Strine holds it, now right side. Here's a Metzger 3, right side wide to the left, and the rebound in the hands backside to Mike and Hamlin. As we approach 3 minutes to go first period of play. Salazar up top. Here's a Hamlin three for the tie. That one bounces off, but right there's Voss to crash the boards, and she's got the putback. Her 4th point, and it's now 6-5 with 2:56 to go here in the opening period. Right now, Hugoton has owned the glass on Scott City here in the early going 7-5, including 4 offensive boards. Into Strine, left elbow, kicks it, trying to get it to Felker. She loses the dribble out of bounds, and Scott City, turnover number 6, she couldn't quite corral it. Coach Emmanuel Adigan goes to the bench for the first time to bring in the 5'7" sophomore Ella Beasley to replace Hamlin. So far, Hugoton 2 of 11 from the floor and 1 of 2 at the line. 6-5 Scott City lead. Hugoton ball, 2.5 to work first period. Here's Adigan with the dribble, pulls it back out of the lane, bounce pass right to Tinoco. Now up top to Salazar, goes around the screen, pulls up right side, jumper no, rebound tip, and into the hands of Erica Felker for Scott City. Lady Beavers up by 1 with the ball. 2:15 to work. Kendall Gentry left side, and she'll dribble it toward the top to Mackenzie Metzger. Hugoton in his zone, back to Gentry. Gentry up top to Felker, into Strine, right side Metzger. Bounce pass to Avery Lewis, pivots to her right, and then goes up, hits underneath the backboard on the shot attempt, and now Hugoton had the rebound and then an unforced turnover. Is their 2nd turnover of the night. Adigan had recorded her 3rd rebound of the quarter. Minute 59 to go, opening period of play. 6-5 Scott City lead with the ball back on their side of the court. Metzger running the point here. And this trip down for Scott City, she dribbles to the left side. All 10 players pretty much on the left half of the court. Now Gentry, top. As they rotate right side to Felker, high pass now. Avery Lewis takes the right baseline, jumper knocks it down. Lewis her first 2 points, and Scott City back up 3 at 8-5 with 100 seconds to go for his period. Scott City good ball movement that time. They break a 3-minute drought. 90 seconds to work now. Voss will take it strong to the rack. Her layup is good. She has 6 of Hugoton's 7 points and 1:26 to go first quarter. It's 8-7. And so far, Hugoton's been able to match every Scott City basket here. Both teams have 3 field goals here in this quarter. Lewis, right baseline, quickly guarded by Tinoco, and then she loses her footing, and it's a steal and a turnover. And that 7th Scott City turnover this quarter, 2-on-2 numbers. Here's Adigan through traffic, and to Voss, who has 8, and Hugoton back on top 9-8 with a minute to go first quarter. That was quite the thread through by Adigan to Voss for the layup in transition, and Hugoton with points off turnovers there have a 9-8 lead, and Scott City with a bad pass after a trap out high, and the Lady Beavers have committed turnover number 8. Brittany Stevens back in to replace Kendall Gentry. Mike and Hamlin checks in to replace Emily Tinoco, and Hugoton in the last 4 of the games have taken a 9-8 lead with 50.9 on the first quarter clock. And again, now up top to Jillian Salazar, goes right to Mike and Hamlin, right baseline to Beasley's. And work it up top to Voss. She has 8 of their 9 points. Into Beasley, left corner to Hamlin off a deflection. Back up top, and Metzger steps in front of the passing lane. And the ball will stay on Hugoton's side, wearing those blue uniforms with the white numbers and red trim. 33.8 seconds on the first quarter clock. 9-8 Lady Eagle lead, and they may go for the final shot of the period. We'll see here. 28 seconds to go. Still plenty of time here in this first quarter. Adigan ball fake. Now right side to Voss. Back up top it goes to Salazar. Now turn around. Here's Ella Beasley at the foul line. Knocks it down. The first 2. And Hugoton last 6 with 17 seconds to go first quarter. They lead 11-7. Felker with it. Now to Mackenzie Metzger. Metzger holds it. Now up top, they go right side to Felker. Baseline, trying to get it to Lewis, and Scott City with 3 turnovers in a row. They have 9 turnovers already here in the first quarter here with 4.9 seconds to go first quarter. Boy, that has really hindered them here in this first quarter. Hugoton with the last 6 of the ball game, and they inbounded into a little pressure. Here's Adigan, and she'll run it, and she'll throw up a 3 left side, and it's just to the left. And that's how the first quarter comes to an end. Hugoton on a 6-0 run to close out the first quarter as they take an 11-8 lead into the second quarter over Scott City. We'll come back in a minute for the second period of play. This is Beaver basketball.
Good morning. This morning, this could be on.
Always something new, always something different. Every day, we learn something new. I love it.
It'll be Hugoton's ball to begin the second quarter, 11-8 for the Lady Eagles over Scott City as we're back here at the Scott Community Event Center. Third game in 18 days between these two teams on the girls' side. It's a third matchup. Both teams have won a game in the season series. Left corner goes to Emily Tinoco. She did not attempt a shot in that first quarter. Hugoton was led by Gianna Voss with 8. As Hugoton was 5 of 16 from the floor. Hamlin throws up a shot. No, she's still scoreless. Scott City tracks down the rebound in the hands of Brinley Stevens. And now here comes Erica Felker weaving through traffic and then ripped out of there. She's getting ready to make a pass. Here's Gianna Voss the other way with a layup on the left side. Crawls off. Might have been partially blocked by Strine. It'll go out of bounds. And Scott City with 10 turnovers. That has really killed them here in this first half. They have 10 turnovers. And they are 3 of 7 from the floor. Trail 11-8 here to the Lady Beavers. First minute of this second quarter. Hugoton scored the last 6 points of the period. Adigan with it up top. She'll drive in, pull up in the paint, right side to Hamlin for 3, and that is off the back iron and an easy backside board for Avery Lewis. Hugoton now 0 of 5 on threes. You have a feeling as this game goes on, they're going to eventually start knocking those down, but Scott City was 2 of 4 on threes in the first period. And a whistle and a foul out high. That'll be called on Gianna Voss, her first. Just the second team foul, that is, on the Hugoton Lady Eagles. Scott City's been whistled for 3. As Kendall Gentry in to replace Mackenzie Metzger. 11-8 for Hugoton. 7:03 to go first half. Scott City trying to break a 3-minute scoring drought here. They've had 2 3-minute scoring droughts here in this first half. Lewis up top of the key. She'll just fire it, and she'll be off to the right. Kramer trying to track down the rebound. Can't get to it in time. And it'll go out of bounds to Hugoton. That was a good look for Lewis up top. She has 2. Scott City has Gentry and Felker each with 3 on a 3-point basket. Voss will flip it over to the right to Adigan. She'll now drive in, take it all the way to the rack, pivots. Wanted to shoot it over Strine, but didn't. Now here's Hamlin penetrating left side to Voss. She'll drive in, spin move, goes to her left, bank shot short, rebound loose, ripped away eventually by Gentry into the hands of Erica Felker. Good defense that time by Scott City. They've played pretty good defense for the most part, but this is on their side of the court is where it's been trouble with 10 first half turnovers. Lewis with it. Now left side to Cheyenne Kramer, back up top to Gentry. Scott City will reset. 11-8, Hugoton, 6:10 to go first half. Neither side has scored here in the second quarter. Scott City on a 3-minute drought, almost a 4-minute drought. Hugoton has not scored here in about 3 minutes. Now Felker right side, she'll spot up for 3 for the tie, and she buries it in the bottom of the barrel. Her second 3 ties the game up at 11, her second tie. 5:50 to go first half. So that'll break about a 4-minute drought for the Lady Beavers. Hugoton on the other end, and one for Samaya Adigan. She takes it on Strine, and that'll be Scott City's 14th foul. And just like that, Hugoton breaks the tie. 13-11, 5:44 to go first half. Nope, they're going to get that on Cheyenne Kramer. Excuse me, that's her first, team's 4th. Adigan, her first points of the night. She averages 13 a game. As in will be Julian Salazar replacing Ella Beasley. And Adigan knocks down the free throw. They were 11 of 14 at the line on Friday night against Scott City, and so he got him with the 3-point play just like that, back up by 3. Up top to Kendall Gentry, goes left to Cheyenne Kramer. Felker spotting up at the quarter, the pass too late. She'll have to drive in, and then she gets tied up underneath, and it'll still stay with the Lady Beavers here with 5:29 to go first half. And first half for Hugoton, they lead by 3. Here's Voss taking it coast to coast. She has 10. Left-handed layup on the left side. 16-11 with 5:15 to go first half. Now Hugoton on an 11-3 run over the last 4 minutes to take a 5-point lead. Ball deflected by Salazar. It almost was last touched by Kramer, but right in front of Randy Richter. He says it was going to stay Scott City ball. Brinley Stevens in for Cheyenne Kramer. Here with 5:07 to go first half. Also back in is Mackenzie Metzger. Stevens right side holds it. Now goes right baseline to Avery Lewis. Lewis looking to drive in, pivots, needs help, trying to get it to Strine, and then it's going to be turnover number 12. Strine scoreless, has not attempted a shot here in this first half. And you hope for Brooks' well-being there, I guess you could say, that she does not get too frustrated. She'll eventually get her shots and her touches. But right now, she has not attempted a shot. She does have 2 rebounds. Ball deflected out high, but picked up by Hamlin. She tries to go around Lewis. She'll take it all the way. Rack floaters up, good and one. As Hamlin hits the deck. And Hugoton with their largest lead at 18-11 with 4:37 to go first half. They've scored 7 in a row in the last 67 seconds. Erica Felker now picks up her second, team's 5th foul, and Kendall Gentry will check in probably for Felker, who now has 2 fouls. Hamlin, that was her first 2 of the night. She averages 10 points this year. Her 4th straight start. Free throw good, and it's now a 19-11 Hugoton lead. They're on a 14-3 run over the last 5 minutes. This game she'll check out as Ella Beasley returns the lineup. But now Scott City with Felker, the leading scorer on the bench, now with 2 fouls, and Strine yet to attempt a shot. Scott City trying to figure things out. They've really struggled here in this first half as Hugoton slaps on the full court press, but Scott City breaks it. 4:25 to go first half. Metzger with it up top, gets pickpocketed. Scott City's 12th turnover, then stolen right back. Here's Gentry, bounce pass into Strine, catches it, triple team immediately, throws up a tough shot, and she has her first 2 of the night. That's big, 19-13 with 4:12 to go first half. She was limited to 7 against Hugoton on Friday night, and so the Lady Beavers with their first basket in 3 minutes. They've had too many scoring droughts here in this first half, and here's Tinoco for a left wing 3. That one crawls off. Beasley had good position underneath. She'll go up over Lewis, and that'll crawl in. She has 4 points off the bench, and Hugoton now at 21-13 with 3:50 to go first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout as Hugoton wants time here with 3:50 to go first half. Basketball here presented by Winterland Farms, White's Food Liner, Wheaton Electric, Western State Bank, Western Kansas Insurance Service, Vogamore Family Farms, Turner Sheet Metal, True North Cafe, Tripac North America, Original Grande, Stevens Veterinary Services, State Farm Insurance, and Spencer Pest Control, Security State Bank. Well, Hugoton's starting to heat up in this second quarter from the floor. They are 5 of 7, including 2 of 2 at the line. Scott City has yet to attempt a free throw in this half. Lady Beavers are 2 of 4, but they also have 2 turnovers and trailing now 21-13. It's been a 16-5 run over the last 7 minutes here for, make that 6 minutes for Hugoton, as they have an 8-point lead here with 3:50 to go first half. Scott City's not been able to string together back-to-back baskets here. Go on a little run past 2 points or 3 points in this first half. Avery Lewis with it. Now back up top left to Kendall Gentry. Gentry holds it, skips it over right side to Mackenzie Metzger. She'll take a couple dribbles up top to Stevens, left side to Gentry. Goes right side to Metzger, almost falls it back and out of bounds. Holds it. Now 3:20 to go first half into Strine inside the paint. Stripped, almost stolen away. Now faces up. She'll take it left side, and we have a full timeout taken by Coach Amy Felker. And she wanted it earlier, and she's frustrated and letting the official know about it. We'll take it as well. It's a 1-minute break. 3:17 to go second half. 21-13. Hugoton back in a minute. This is Beaver basketball. 21-13, Hugoton leads Scott City ball here with 3:17 to go first half. Back to action here. Left corner to Kendall Gentry off the inbounds, and she travels with it. And Scott City with a 12th turnover of the half. She drugged the pivot foot, and Coach Amy Felker to send Cheyenne Kramer to check back in for the Lady Beavers. Really, it's the turnovers that have killed Scott City tonight. And so far, Hugoton's been able to feast on them, especially here in the second quarter on a 10-5 run so far. So we're nearly 5 minutes into this second quarter. 21-13, here's up top with it is Salazar. She'll drive right side. Bounce pass kick by Cheyenne Kramer. And a tough break for Scott City because they were getting ready for the steal there. And it'll stay with the Lady Eagles here with 3:02 to go first half. 21-13, Hugoton with the lead. Inbound in. Back up top, it'll go to Salazar. Salazar will drive in, but she travels with it. Hugoton commits their 4th error of the first half. Back into the lineup is Gianna Voss replacing Ella Beasley, who's come up with 4 big points for them in the first half. 2:55 here in period number 2. Scott City down 21-13 with the ball, and Felker setting to check in next dead ball. She had 2 fouls and 6 points. Now left baseline here is Brinley Stevens holds it, throws it back up to Avery Lewis. Lewis goes right side to Mackenzie Metzger, right baseline to Kramer. She'll take the 16-footer off the rim, and the rebound into the hands of Mike and Hamlin. Had a good look there, did Kramer, but could not get it to drop home. In transition, Voss loses the handle, but tracks it down the corner with 2:25 to go first half. Up top to Samaya Adigan, goes right side, drives away in the paint, up and under move, now has to kick it right side to Salazar. She'll drive in the paint and flips it out high to Voss. As she drives in the weave, right side, Adigan for 3, good. Samaya Adigan with 6 points on this quarter. Hugoton with the first 3, and they have a 24-13 lead as we approach 2 minutes to go first half. Hugoton on a 13-5 run in this period, and they're going to add to possibly with a steal. Here's 2-on-1 numbers, bounce pass to Salazar, back to Adigan, and a foul on the floor. That's on Stevens, her 2nd, and the team's 6th of the half. Hugoton has only been whistled for 2 first half fouls. With a minute 54 to go before intermission. It's Kendall Gentry replaying in as well. Outer Metzger and Stevens. So Scott City struggling here in this first half, taking care of the ball, and now Voss turns down the 3. She'll drive in the floater over Strine, too strong on the backside board for Avery Lewis, her 2nd rebound. 24-13, minute 45 to go first half. Hugoton with the lead. Scott City ball. Now Felker almost had it stripped, and Lewis will lose it out of bounds and another turnover. Really, what this comes down to right now for Scott City, just taking care of the basketball. That's what it is more than anything else in this first half. And Scott City, who averages 18 turnovers a game, already has 14 here, and we're 90 seconds outside of halftime. In the paint, a jump stop for Adigan, left side to Salazar. She'll pull up, and then left side to Adigan, looking to drive in, gets a screen, takes it all the way to the rack, hangs, shoots, and she's fouled by Strine. And she'll get 2 free throws with minute 20 to go first half. Also, we haven't seen Scott City get as aggressive taking it to the rack. Part of that is because Hugoton has been packing the paint wherever Strine has gone, or just trying to foul her first. 2 free throws for Adigan, who has all 6 of her points in this quarter, and she adds to it there. Hugoton is now 3 of 3 at the line, leading at 25-13. 1:20 to go first half on a 20-5 run in this ball game over the last 8 minutes. 2nd free throw also perfect, making it 26-13. So Hugoton has had runs of 6, 8, and now 7 as they apply full court pressure. With it is Felker in the backcourt, launches it down the court to Kendall Gentry. Now to Strine, she'll drive left lane line. Her layup left side, leaves it short in the rebound. Here's Mike and Hamlin with it for Hugoton. Final minute of the first half. Now Voss drives in right side, another Adigan 3. Short rebound tracked down by Felker in the corner for her 4th board of the half for Scott City. Lady Beavers just 1 offensive board in this first half, and they trail it by 13, 50 seconds to go first half. Avery Lewis with it, finds Kramer backside. Her shot out the glass. Oh, it's too strong. Strine with the rebound with the putback. She has 4 points and 3 rebounds. That makes it 26-15, 37 seconds to go first half. There's Scott City's 2nd offensive board of the night. Salazar with it up top. as Hugoton pulls it back out, and they may go for the final shot of the half with an 11-point lead here. 20 seconds to go, second quarter. 26-15, Hugoton in the lead of the ball. They have not trailed here in this period. They were briefly tied at 11-11 about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Now Adigan will take a stronger on Felker, leaves it short, and Felker almost picked up her third foul, and the rebound to Strine with 9 seconds. Now lead pass. Here comes Felker with it underneath the Gentry. She'll put it up, the blocked out of there by Samaya Adigan, who hustles back with 3.8 to go first half. Scott City will get another crack at it, down 11, and try to make this a single-digit game before halftime. It'll be Strine to inbound it here with 3.8 to go first half. She'll throw it up top to Kramer. 2 seconds, 1 second. Lewis will try the three, and she's too strong on it, and that'll end the first half. So Hugoton goes on a 15-7 second quarter run and have opened up an 11-point lead at the break, 26-15 over.
Chambliss Roofing has you covered since 1993. They are prepared for any job like maintenance and repair, an upgrade, or a new install. They provide the best customer service for residential and commercial roofing. Looking to upgrade to a metal roof? They can do that as well. If you have any existing damage or are looking for a roof that will last for years to come, don't wait to get a free consultation. Visit their website, chamblissroofing.com, by scanning the QR code on screen now.
Furrow Heating and Cooling of Scott City is a proud sponsor of Beaver activities. Brent and Angie take pride in helping our activities and support our students 100%. They can also help you with any heating and cooling needs that you have. Give Furrow Heating and Cooling a call at 620-872-3508 and see if they can help you with your needs today.
Fairleigh Feed Yard is dedicated to investing in our facilities and staff to provide the best experience possible for the cattle feeder and, in the end, the consumers of our product. We are always in the market to purchase corn and other commodities from local producers. Call our office at 620-872-2111 for current pricing. Our dedicated employees and their families are very important to us, and we are proud of their children that are current Beavers and individuals that will grow into those roles in the future. Fairleigh Feed Yard is privileged to support Scott City youth and are honored to cheer on the Beavers.
If you are in the market for a new or used vehicle, check out J&R Car and Truck Center of Scott City. J&R Car and Truck has a fully trained service and parts staff for repairs on most makes and models of vehicles. Locally owned and operated, J&R Car and Truck Center provides over 250 new and used vehicles in stock and ready to be delivered. Stop on in and check out jrcarandtruck.com for your next vehicle. J&R Car and Truck Center, your Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealership in Scott City.
With over 10 years of experience, Jamie at JW Enterprise can repair your windshield quickly and conveniently. Even if you don't have time to make it to the shop, Jamie can fix your windshield from your home, or he can come get your vehicle for you. JW Enterprise is insured and Safe Flight certified. He might be operating under a different name, but Jamie still provides the same quality of service. Let Jamie at JW Enterprise fix that chip in your windshield now. Find JW Enterprise on Facebook or give him a call at 260-777.
Sandwiched in between some Scott City points. Taking a look at the first half scoring. First for Hugoton, they were led by Gianna Voss with 10. She had really 10 of their first 13 points of the ball game. Samaya Adigan had a big second quarter. She finished with 8.5. Also in the first half, you had Mike and Hamlin with 3 and Ella Beeson with 4 off the bench, and 1 for Julian Salazar. She had the first points of the night. For the Eagles, they finished, or they had just 4 turnovers in the first half, 9 steals, 6 defensive rebounds, 5 offensive boards, 11 rebounds, and just 2 fouls in the first half. For the Scott City Lady Beavers, who riddled with turnover issues all half, and they were led by Erica Felker with a pair of threes and 6 points. Also 4 for Brooke Strine. She finally got going in the second quarter, just 3 shot attempts. She was 2 of 3 there. 3 for Kendall Gentry on the first quarter 3. Avery Lewis had a first quarter basket, and that was a scoring in the first half for Scott City. As the Lady Eagles just returned to the top of the top 10 rankings at number 10 in Class 3A. The Lady Beavers at 6-6, Hugoton at 7-5. In the first half, Scott City had 14 turnovers, 7 fouls, 2 steals, 11 defensive rebounds, 3 offensive boards for a total of 14 rebounds. We'll come back with some more first half stats after this timeout. Let's take another 3-minute break. 26-15 Hugoton on top at the break over Scott City. This is Beaver basketball.
To us, it's about so much more than just providing the technology. It's about enriching the communities we live in, because your community is our community. Where you live, where you work, where you play, we do too. Whatever you do, and wherever you are, our service supports you. Next Tech Wireless, we are Kansas.
There's nothing more spacious than Western Kansas, and nobody closer than our communities. We are determined to keep our communities connected to schools, kids to teachers and parents. We believe a connected world is a better place. We are more than what we do for our hometowns. It's what we do with our hometowns. S&T is proud to be your family, your friends, your neighbor.
Scott City Eye Center has been a leading provider of optometry services and vision care products in the Scott City community since 1999. Our experienced eye doctors offer comprehensive vision examinations that our Scott City Optometry office specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of a wide array of eye diseases, conditions, and problems. We use advanced diagnostic technology, and we are committed to improving the quality of life. Give yourself the gift of clear vision by scheduling an appointment with Dr. Joshua Gooden, OD, today.
First half stats here for Scott City and Hugoton. Some additional ones. Lady Beavers down 26-15 at the break. Hugoton unofficially was 10-27 from the floor, 37%, 1 of 8 on threes, 9 of 19 on two-point baskets. And from the foul line, the Eagles were 5 of 6. For Scott City, they were 6 of 16 from the field, 38%. They were 3 of 8 on threes, also 3 of 8 on twos. And to not attempt a free throw, Scott City had a lot of foul trouble. I shouldn't say a lot, just 2 players with 2 fouls, Erica Felker and Brindley Stevens. Hugoton only had 2 players with 1 foul in the first half. 7 fouls on Scott City, 2 on Hugoton. Lady Beavers and Scott City boys will be back in action on Friday. They'll be at Cimarron to take on the Blue Jays in a GWAC battle, and then they'll come back here next Tuesday for Hayes. That'll be homecoming night. Keep in mind, once again, in case you haven't found out, homecoming is on Tuesday night next week. It was originally scheduled for Friday the 3rd of February, but some conflicts there moved it back to Tuesday. Or moved it up, I should say, to Tuesday. Second half, it's Scott City's ball as they move from right to left. Erica Felker, now Brookstrine dumps it into Kramer underneath. Pivots back to Erica Felker. She'll drive in the paint. She'll throw a tough shot up, and it'll sneak off and rebound Hugoton with it. Man, it just did not want to go into the basket, and here's Hugoton in transition. Salazar has to pull it back out. And the Lady Eagles will reset here. Right side, Voss for a deep 3, and that is too strong. And the rebound in the hands of Hamlin. Scott City did not get a clean corral on it. Scott City with Kendall Gentry, Erica Felker, Brooke Strine, Cheyenne Kramer, and Avery Lewis. Hugoton with Mike and Hamlin. Avery Lewis starting this half. Gianna Voss, Julian Salazar, and Samaya Adigan. 7:16 to go third. Driving in, Voss kicks it out high. Now Adigan will drive in the paint, up and under move, pivot, can get a shot. Now Voss will try it this time, but back up top to Salazar. Right side as they play a weave, and Adigan will stop and pop a right side 3 and bury it. Her second 3, she has 11, and it's 29-15, 6:59 to go third quarter. As Hugoton, very patient on offense, worked it well and got a good shot. First minute of this second half, Scott City right side, Avery Lewis. She'll try one from deep 2 range and nothing but net. Her first basket of the half, 4 for the game, 29-17, 6:42 to go third quarter. She had a 4-point performance against Hugoton on Friday night. Right side, Emily Salazar. Now here's Samaya Adigan driving the right side, quickly guarded by Strine. Now Voss. Now they're working to right side and left wide open for 3 is Adigan. She buries another one. She is 3 of 4 from downtown, and it's a 32-17 game with 6:18 to go third quarter. And Scott City playing man defense there. They may end up getting somebody up on Adigan, and now whistle, and that's going to be a hold, I believe, on Voss. It was number 12 on number 12. It'll be Voss's second. She tried to get around Felker. That's her first. Second foul on Voss, first team foul of the half. Is in for the first time is Megan Trout. She'll be in to replace Brooke Strine. The 6:09 to go third quarter. Trout, the 5'10 sophomore, in for the first time here tonight. Averages 2 points and 3 rebounds a game. As Felker to trigger it in, we'll throw it up top. Here's Kendall Gentry with it. Bounce pass right side, a low, but picked up. No full control, no travel. Up top to Kramer left side. Here's Avery Lewis, holds it, and back to Erica Felker looking to feed it in, but can't. As Hugoton with some pretty good defense. 5:50 to go third quarter. 32-17, Hugoton lead underneath the Felker. Her wraparound shot is blocked, but the rebound to Avery Lewis, and she'll pull up and knock it down. She has all 4 of Scott City's points this half, and it's now 32-19, 5:40 to go third quarter. But the unfortunate thing is the Lady Beavers are trading 2s for 3s. As Adigan has both points, or all 6 points, both buckets this half for Hugoton. She'll drive in on Trout, spin move, now dump it underneath to Tinoco. She's trapped, but finds Mike and Hamlin left corner. Scott City staying man-to-man. Hamlin will drive in. Her reverse layup hits underneath the backboard. She fights off Felker for the offensive board and has another crack at it. It trickles out high and saved in the front court, but right in the hands of Kendall Gentry. She'll weave her way through. Up top to Kramer, left side to Felker for a quick release on the 3. Good! Good ball movement that time. Felker with 3 threes and 9. It's a 10-point game with 4:58 to go. Third quarter, points off turnovers there for Scott City. It's 32-22, and for the first time they have a little rally tonight. 5-0 run. Salazar with it. She'll drive in now to Mike and Hamlin. Drives left side. Her layup too strong, but right to Tinoco, who puts it up high off the glass. No, and the rebound to Felker. And all of a sudden, Scott City can trim this deficit even more. They're on a 5-0 run. Lady Beavers down 32-22 with 4.5 to go third quarter. And Trout at the foul line holds it. Now back up top to Gentry. Back to Trout, back to Gentry left side. Scott City's knocked down 4 threes tonight. And a whistle, and that's going to be a moving screen on Megan Trout. She was not set. That's her first, and Scott City's first foul of the half of 4:21 to go third quarter. Ella Beasley in to replace Mike and Hamlin here with 4:21 here in the third stanza. 32-22, Hugoton lead is at 10. The Scott City with the last 5 of the game. As walking across will be Julian Salazar. She'll go to her left. Use up her dribble, looks for the backdoor cut, finds Adigan, and she'll kiss it off the glass. She has all 8 of their points in this quarter, 16 for the game, and it's 34-22 with 4:03 to go third quarter, and a 30-second timeout taken by the Hugoton Lady Eagles. We'll keep it right here. Basketball presented by our Booster Club corporate sponsors, including Scott Pro, Scott County Record, Scott County Hospital, Scott Cooperative Association, Scott Community Foundation, Scott City Pharmacy, Giftologist, Scott City Ice Center, Road and Big Green Agency, Richards Financial Services, R&R Power, Our Brothers Auto Body Mechanic, and Precision Ag and Seed. Scott City had a little run there, a 5-0 run, but Hugoton ended it with that backdoor cut right there to Samaya Adigan, who has a game-high 16 points. And Gianna Voss is added 10. It's 34-22 here with 4:03 to go here in the third quarter. And in full court pressure will be applied by Hugoton out of their 30-second break. And they'll get it into Felker from Avery Lewis into Trout right at half court, holds it and gives it back to Felker. Trout was not, had one leg in the front court, one leg in the back court, so that was not an over and back call. Heard little moans and groans from Hugoton. I can understand, and it wasn't an over and back. But now up top to Kramer, 3:45 to go third quarter. Holds it and just dumps it over right side to Mackenzie Metzger. 34-22, Hugoton lead at a dozen. Kramer back at high to Lewis to Mackenzie Metzger. Turns down the 3. She'll drive right side. Is cut off back up top to Lewis. And now to Metzger out high as Scott City tries to reset here. Hugoton playing a zone defense here. It's 2:20, almost like a 2-1-2 or 2-3 look. And now ball deflected. And there's Lewis. Finds Felker in the right corner looking to drive in. Her runners, she's fouled and she'll get 2 free throws. And that'll be the first trip to the line tonight for Scott City. Foul will be charged to Emily Tinoco, her first, team second in the half with 3:15 to go in the third quarter. Felker, her all-tournament team honors is Sterling at the line to shoot 2 where she's 83% on the year, including that 20-23 performance. 34-23 with 3:15 to go third quarter. Interesting enough, Brian Richter, who runs all the stats and stuff for Sterling or the tournament record stuff, as Felker sits in both. That's not the most free throws made in a game for Scott City in school history. And actually, I believe it is a state record. Donna Snyder hit 26 free throws in a game back in the mid-'80s. How about that? 20 free throws, that's a pretty good number, but it's 34-24, 3 minutes to go third quarter. Driving in as Salazar finds Emily Tinoco cutting left side, and now Voss will penetrate all the way. Her floater is good. She has a dozen. 36-23 here, or 24, excuse me, 2:48 to go third quarter. As Hugoton pushes their lead back up to a dozen. Scott City had it to within 10, but it's right now at a dozen. 2:38 here in the third. Strine and Stevens to check in next dead ball in. To Kramer underneath behind the Hugoton zone. Her first pass of the night, 36-26 with 2.5 to go third quarter. And so Scott City back to within 10. Hugoton pushes it quickly with Voss. Bounce pass right side to Salazar. She'll drive into the paint. Bounce pass to wide open Beasley. Got Scott City out of rotation, and Beasley was 6. 38-26 with 2:17 to go third quarter. Both teams shooting the ball pretty well here in this third period, and now Scott City with their 16th turnover of the night. Lead pass too far for Tinoco, and it's going to go out of bounds. Hugoton commits turnover number 6, and that allows Brooke Strine and Brinley Stevens to return. Cheyenne Kramer will exit, as will Avery Lewis. The 2:06 here in this third quarter. 38-26, Scott City down a dozen. Hugoton's led by as many as 15 in this game. Strine with it will take it across the 10-second line with 1:55 to go third period. Up top to Mackenzie Metzger, finds the foul line Try now into Strine, off the glass, good ball movement. Scott City really has had good ball movement for most of the night. 38-28 here with 1:43 to go, third quarter. Strine with a half a dozen tonight to go along with their 4 boards. 90 seconds to go in this third period. Lead is at 10 for Hugoton. They've led most of the way. And now right side, up top. Now to Adigan. She'll drive in, kick it. Sunoco drives in the paint, left side to Julian Salazar. Salazar pivots back up top to Adigan. Drives left lane line as they play a weave out high with 1:15 to go. Left corner, here's Samaya Adigan. She'll take it all the way to the rack. Jump stop hangs, and she is fouled. She'll get 2 free throws. Adigan tonight is 3 of 3 at the line. She has 8 of their points in this third quarter. 8 of their 12. Megan Trout picks up her second foul, the team's second of the half with 1:11 to go third quarter. Hugoton tonight at the line is 5 of 6. Scott City 2 of 2, and Adigan makes it 6 of 7 in an 11-point game. 39-28 with 1:11 to go third period. She has 17 points all in 2 quarters and make it 18. She was 0 for 3 in that first quarter and has only missed 2 shots since. And now steal for Voss off the inbounds, and she has a dozen. Make it 14, 42-28 with 1:03 to go third quarter as Hugoton applies some full court pressure. Scott City with their 17th turnover of the night. They've cut down the turnovers here in the third quarter, but that first half was really a pretty high amount of turnovers, and that really put Scott City in a hole in that second quarter. Stevens with it, 45 seconds to work third quarter. Skips it over left side to Felker. She'll launch a 3. That one is short, might have been partially blocked. Stevens had it, now loose underneath, and then into Strine. She'll bank it off the glass. She has 8 from Trout there, and it's now 42-30. 30 seconds to go third quarter. Scott City got the putback there. Hugoton with the dribble up top. With it is Gianna Voss. She looks to drive in, throws it out high right to Tinoco. With 18 seconds, Tinoco almost doubled. Yep, she did travel. It was a turnover number 7. Now, almost a double dribble there, but it was a walk right in front of the official. Kendall Gentry, Ava Lewis in, Mackenzie Mitzker, and Brentley Stevens exit. Here in the late stage of this third quarter. And just like that, Scott City can get it down to 10, maybe 9 if things work out. Lewis with it with 13 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Uses her dribble up top, finds Megan Trout the foul line with 7, with 6. Nice dump into Lewis, who lays it up for her 8th point of the night, 6 in this quarter, 42-32. Here's Adigan. She will not get a half-court shot off as that's the end of your third quarter, with Scott City with the last 4 of the quarter to pull to within 10. 42-32 as we head to the fourth. Back in a minute. This is Scott City basketball.
Women at every stage of life want a healthcare experience uniquely theirs, where excellence meets elegance and healthcare is personalized just for you. Scott County Hospital and Scott City Clinics, skilled physicians and nurses will help your family prepare for the birth of your baby. The private, comfortable, secure rooms for labor, delivery, and postpartum care include jacuzzi tubs for pain management during labor. Call Scott City Clinic to set an appointment today. We put our heart in healthcare.
As your local community foundation, we are dedicated to preserving local wealth so the communities in and around Scott County will forever remain an attractive place to live, work, and raise a family. We respond to the needs of our community through grant making, scholarships, and other special projects. To learn more, visit us online at scottcf.org.
(42-32), Hugoton into the lead and the ball to begin the fourth quarter. As it will be leading the way for Hugoton after 3 quarters. Samaya Adigan with 18, Gianna Voss with 14. That's 32 of their 42 points. Scott City led by Erica Felker with 11, and Avery Lewis and Brooke Strine with 8. That's 27 of their 32 points here tonight. Here's Adigan, bounce pass right side to Salazar. Spin move, Salazar will drive in. Oh, she walked with a good defense by Felker, forcing the turnover, and Scott City can get this to within single digits here with 7:40 to go. They would outscore Hugoton in that third quarter 17-16 as the Lady Eagles apply full court pressure. Felker to trigger it in, and it's almost thrown away there at first, but Gentry back to Felker, now to Strine in the backcourt. Scott City with 4 starters out there right now. Trout, the lone non-starter in there. She gets the ball and then goes right side to Avery Lewis. Fakes the shot, goes in, cut off, needs help. Pivots, finds stride, cutting to the basket, and she'll bank it in for a 10th point. It's now an 8-point game here with 7:18 to go, at 42-34. So Scott City with the last 6 of the game, their largest run of the night. Up top, here's Adigan, goes to her left, and now left side to Tinoco. Almost poked away, but picked up, back to Gianna Voss. Left corner, here's Samaya Adigan, gets around the screen, drives in strong, lays it up, and she has 20. 44-34, 6:55 to go. So Adigan with 2 more there. Scott City hit all six of their 2-point baskets in that third quarter. They were 7 of 8, or 6 of 7 in that third quarter. Underneath here, Strine off to the left, no, gets her, rebound, throws it up, no, and the rebound to Adigan. Has a couple opportunities that time. Here's Hugoton back the other way, up by 10, 6:25 to go. Correction, Scott City missed 3 shots in that third quarter. I was off on that, missed the other 2, but they were 6 of 8 from the 2-point range in that third quarter, 6 of 9 in that third quarter. They were 12 of 25 shooting, and now whistle out high and a foul. That'll be the 13th foul in Scott City this half. The foul, I believe, will be charged to Erica Felker. That'll be her third with 6:04 to go. Hugoton 16 of 37 after 3 quarters. They have the ball with 6 minutes to go, up 10, 44-34. Adigan will drive in, is cut off. She has 20 to lead Hugoton tonight. Right side to Voss. She'll dribble it out high. And there's 5:50 to go. Voss guarded by Lewis, goes to her left, kicks it left side to Tinoco. She'll take it all the way. Her runner is good in her first 2 of the night. Puts Hugoton back up by a dozen, 46-34 with 5:40 to go. Hugoton has only been with a 6-player rotation tonight, and all 6 have scored. 5:26 to go in this one. Lewis with it as Scott City back down 12. Now left baseline into Trout. Goes up, scores it, and 1. Trout was along the left baseline, found a cutting Megan Trout to the basket. She'll head to the free throw line. Team foul number 3 on Hugoton this half. They're going to get that on Emily Tinoco, her second. Trout, who's 58% at the line, will have a chance to cut this game to within 9 with 5:22 to go. Just the second trip to the line tonight for Scott City, and Trout knocks it down. Kramer to check in, replace Trout, who played quite a few minutes there. Here on KSKL Scott City, back to a 9-point game here for Hugoton. 46-37, 5:18 left in this one. With it is Voss looking to drive in, goes to the right, bounce pass out high right to Salazar. Salazar back to Voss. Scott City playing her man, and now driving right side. Adigan goes around. Kramer with the layup, and she has 22. 48-37 with 5:03 to go. And full timeout taken by Hugoton. They have 2 remaining now. We'll take a minute break as well. 5:03 to go. 11-point Eagle lead. Back in a minute. This is Scott City basketball.
Adding value to our community has been our priority since day one. That's why the Scott Co-op is here with 8 elevator locations, 2 service stations, 5 card trolls, bulk fuel and oil delivery, as well as a full-service agronomy department, including agronomy services, seed, chemical, fertilizer, and custom application. Visit us online at scottcoop.com or download our app for more information. Scott Co-op is a proud supporter of our local communities.
5:03 left in this one. It's 48-37 for Hugoton. The Lady Eagles down to 2 timeouts left after that last one. Their first full timeout taken of this game. Scott City with 2 fulls and 2:30s left. And Scott City with the ball out of the timeout. Now here's Felker driving left side, pulls up over Adigan, leaves it short. Kramer of the backside board in the follow-up. She has 4. And their second rebound, 48-39. Scott City hanging tough, but down 9. 4:40 to go in this one. And here's Voss, right side. Salazar turns down the 3, up top to Adigan. She has 22 to lead Hugoton and dumps it backside to Tinoco, puts it up and answers. She has all 4 of her points in this fourth quarter, 50-39 with 4:28 left. Really the thing tonight for Scott City is they've had better looks here in this fourth quarter, but that first half really is the story. Here's Strine, her runner, bank shot down. She has a dozen. 50-41 here with 4:15 to go. And Scott City's hitting a good bulk of their shots here in this second half. They've also cut down the turnovers in this half as well. Here's Adigan with 4:05 to go. Hamlin now with it. Lost it, but picked it back up. Back to Adigan. Turns down the 3. Strine guards are out high. Now goes right side to Jillian Salazar. Halfway through this fourth quarter, Hamlin right side. Adigan for another 3. No, but rebound ripped away by Erica Felker for Scott City. And the Lady Beavers can get this to 7, maybe 6 if things work out, but they'll get it down to 7 as Avery Lewis has a shot, got behind the Hugoton defense, 50-43 with 3:37 to go. And all of a sudden, it's a 7-point game. Scott City is on a 9-4 run in the last couple minutes here. 3:25 to go, almost a travel by Salazar. That would have been big. Right side to Gianna Voss, gets a screen. Voss to the top, goes left to Adigan, ball deflected, she'll pick it up. 3:17 to go, 50-43 for Hugoton as Avery Lewis gets the steal on the pass. Lewis will take it left side all the way. She'll lay it up, and she's fouled by Hamlin, and she'll get 2 free throws. And Scott City all of a sudden a little life and can inch even closer with 3:07 left. The foul, Mike and Hamlin are first. Lewis, her first trip to the line. 56% on the year and nothing but net on that. She ties her career high with 11. And it's all of a sudden a 6-point game with 3:07 to go at 50-44. Second free throw. That's a new career high, 50-45. Scott City on a 6-0 run. They've scored 11 in the last 15 points of this game to within 5 at the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Adigan will drive right side, and she tries to answer, and she'll draw the block on Lewis for her first. And Adigan, who is perfect, 5 of 5 at the line and a game-high 22 with 2 free throws coming up. 50-45, Hugoton with the 5-point lead, but 2:59 to go. Hugoton has been pretty much automatic at the line tonight. 7 of 8 and make it 7 of 9 as he gave Adigan the broadcaster jinx there. Another free throw pending, but first we have a substitution for Scott City. Mackenzie Metzger to replace Kendall Gentry. 6 out of the 8 players have scored for Scott City tonight. They've had a pretty big balanced attack of the top 3 as Adigan will rim in 1 out of 2 and make it a 51-45 game with 2:59 left. That'll break about a minute-and-a-half drought for the Lady Eagles. They apply full court pressure. Felker, and she traveled with it before she took some steps, or she took too many steps before she dribbled it, I should say. Scott City's first turnover of the fourth quarter, their 18th of the night. They had 14 in the first half, and that's how Hugoton really built up their lead, and that's probably right now the difference of the game. Both teams have 4 fouls in the second half. Coach Emmanuel Adigan directing instructions here as Mackenzie Metzger had the steal, and now it's loose, and now it's loose again. It was picked up by Felker, and she tries to track it down, but it went right on the, they're going to say last touch by Hugoton, and it belonged to Scott City. I thought at first that Felker had touched it as it went onto the white stripe on the boundary, but official Randy Richter over the top of it says no, Hugoton last to touch it. It's a 6-point game. Felker with it, needs help. Finds it up top to Mackenzie Metzger to Cheyenne Kramer with 2:32 to go, and the skip pass is thrown away and a turnover. Oh, that was a missed opportunity for Scott City, and now they get Felker in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she picks up foul number 4 with 2:30 to go. And it's going to be Megan Tratt to replace Cheyenne Kramer. And you could tell the instructions from Coach Emmanuel Adigan last time down was to run a lot of clock here and make Scott City come out and foul you. Lady Beavers with 5 fouls this half. Voss, and now here comes Adigan, pulls it back out. Tinoco with it with 2:19 to go. Now Voss will drive in, stops in the paint. We'll kick it right side to Salazar. Salazar with the back to Voss with 2:11 to go. Up top to Adigan. Adigan will drive in. Hugoton not looking to shoot. They're looking to burn some time off with 2 minutes to go. Felker has to be careful and not pick up a 5th foul there. And now up top to Adigan with 1:55 to go. Scott City down 51-45. Have had a good comeback here. They had it to within 5 moments ago before the Adigan free throw. And now with it is Salazar with 1:45 to go as Hugoton continues to play a weave out high. Here's Voss. She'll drive in. Her layup is good. High off the glass for a 16th point. 53-45, 96 seconds to go. More importantly for Hugoton, that makes it a 3-possession game. Metzger with the dribble, finds Strine at the elbow right. Turns, pivots, finds Trout out high with 1:25 to go up top to Felker. Left side Avery Lewis, the mid-range jumper is good. She has 14. 53-47, 1:20 to go. Amy Felker burns a full timeout. Let's take it as well with 1:20 to go. 53-47 Hugoton. This is Beaver basketball.
For exceptional service in real estate, put Stephanie Shapland at Shapland Real Estate to work for you. Property homework is what we do best at Shapland Real Estate. We put forth every effort to get results that move you. Our expertise in buying and selling residential, commercial, and agriculture property is built on the tradition of trust and thoroughness that you deserve. Shapland Real Estate takes pride in our community and in cheering on our students in all that they do. Give Shapland Real Estate a call or visit our website today.
At Turner Sheet Metal, our main goal is to enhance the comfort of your home while making sure that our customers are 100% satisfied. Need your furnace checked for the winter? Call us. Need your air conditioner cleaned for the summer? Our NATE certified technicians are the guys for the job. Turner Sheet Metal, your Bryant authorized dealer in Scott City, can also help you save up to 40% on your heating and cooling costs with a Bryant Evolution system. Call for a free estimate and let us help keep your family comfortable and safe. Turner Sheet Metal, South Highway 83 in Scott City.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Minute 20 to go. It's a 6-point Hugoton lead with the ball as they look to inbound it to get it into Samaya Adigan. 53-47 your score. As Adigan will take it across. Trout reaches in for a 3rd foul. It's a final foul to give for Scott City with 1:13 to go. And you know Hugoton's wanting to will try to get into the hands of Adigan, Hamlin, or Voss off the inbounds. As Felker checks out, Gentry will check in, and Coach Amy Felker, more importantly, getting Amy or Erica out of there with their 4 fouls. As Metzger will try to guard Voss. They'll get it into the backcourt to Gianna Voss, and now Metzger will guard Voss here. She takes it across with 68 seconds. She'll take it all the way in. They tried to foul, and now Adigan with it, and a whistle and a foul. And that'll get on Kendall Gentry, her first, team 7th, and 1-1 coming up for Adigan. And Scott City probably wanted to wait a second later there to foul, I believe it was Tinoco actually. 1-1 for Voss, who's had a really good night here. 23 points. And she is 6 of 7 from the line. Hugoton has only missed 2 free throws. Scott City has attempted all of their free throws in the second half. They're 5 of 5. Front of the 1-1 is good, and Adigan will add to her big night. 54-47, 1:03 to go. She now has 24 points to lead all scorers. Make it 25. 55-47, 1:03 left. Final minute of this one as Gentry throws it to Megan Trout. Now back to Kendall Gentry. Scott City doesn't want to waste much time here. Now Felker will step back and launch a 3, and she'll splash it home. Her 14-pointer for 3, 55-50, 47.8 to go, and Scott City will burn a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here for 47.8 to go, and Scott City once again back to that 5-point deficit. At 55-50, and Scott City had it to within 50 to 45 moments ago. Then Hugoton had ballooned it back out to 8. And now it's back down to 5, 55-50. Here with 47.8 to go. Scott City down to 2 timeouts as is Hugoton. Scott City can get a tie up. The possession arrow favors the Lady Beavers. Team fouls, 7 for Scott City, 4 for Hugoton here in this second half. 5-point game. As Hugoton, both teams rolling out their players out of the timeout. Foker checks out. Metzger in there mainly for fouling defensive purposes there. But Felker, there are 4 fouls. You don't want to have her in there to accidentally pick up a 5th foul. Inbound into Samaya Adigan, guarded by Trout. She drives the right sideline and draws the foul on Trout. She came in the 3rd quarter and 4 fouls on her. With 43.5 seconds to go, team foul number 8 on Scott City. 1-1 for Adigan, where she buried it 2 free throws earlier. She's hit her last 3. 25 points for the future Aggie, or for the future Lady Ranger, excuse me. Aggies, Rangers, same area. 1-1. And then is good. And make it 56-50, 43.5 seconds to go. Adigan, over 800 points in her career. Gianna Voss hit the 1,000-point club last week, I believe it was, at the tournament in Sterling, 57-50, and Hamlin had it a year earlier, 57-50, 40 seconds to go. Left side, it goes to Trout up top, goes right side to Felker for her 5th 3, off to the right, but it got her on rebound, and she almost fouled going up. 5 for the loose ball. Gentry has it, and she is going to be fouled on the floor, and Scott City almost had a chance to get couple of points there, but it is a foul on the floor and a tough shot there. The foul will be on Mike and Hamlin, her 2nd, team's 5th. And Scott City inbound with 20 seconds to go, time running out. Here's a screen, and that's going to be a moving screen on Scott City. We saw that call a lot last week at Sterling. Strine with the foul, her 2nd, team's 8th, make that 9th. And then will be Mackenzie Metzger, Brinley Stevens. That'll be Megan Trout and Erica Felker. Scott City down 7, time running out for the Lady Beavers after they trailed by as many as 15 in this game. Baseball pass down the floor, it's almost stolen away, but kept alive by Tinoco. She'll hold it now, give it to Salazar, back out high to Voss with 15 seconds to go. And Gentry fouls her, double bonus time. That'll be Gentry's 2nd foul. 14.4 to go. And it'll be Voss to the line for the first time tonight. She has 16 points. She had 8 of those in the first quarter, 8 of their 11 points. It's a 57-50 game with 14.4 to go. First free throw, rimming around and dropping home. To mention, she hit the 1,000-point club for Hugoton, just 5 in that school in school history of 50 or 1,000 points, 58-50, 14.4 left. As out are back in for Scott City, Felker and Trout. Out is Metzger and Stevens. Voss, the southpaw, with 18 now, 59-50s. Hugoton hitting their free throws down the stretch here, 10 seconds to go. And Hugoton is going to prove to 8-5, and they're going to get their first league win of the year. Scott City will drop south of 500 as they lose the ball, and Hugoton will hold it out, and that'll be all she wrote. 59-50. Scott City falls tonight to the Hugoton Eagles, the number 10 ranked team now in Class 4A. As Hugoton has now won 4 in a row, a season high. They're now 8-5, and they're 1-1 in GWAC play. Scott City drops below 500 as they are now 6-6 overall and 0-1 in the league. Postgame show to begin after this 3-minute break. This is Scott City basketball.
The world needs more farmers, people who know the land, people who support rural communities, people who are as diverse as each acre they care for. But unless you've been born and raised on a family farm, it's nearly impossible to become a farmer. That's why we are building a team of people from our hometown and across the world to do what they love. We are not just a family farm. We are a multi-family farm. We are Volgamore Family Farms.
dog ungroomed and smelly? Then come on by the new and improved Wagon Wash, located at 501 Jackson Street in Scott City, Kansas. We added on a dog wash for your pet's hygienic needs. There are 6 different modes you can choose from: shampoo, oatmeal conditioner, rinse, odor control, flea and tick, and blow dry. Our facilities are regularly cleaned, and we have a vending machine full of treats for you and your pet. Follow us on Facebook at Wagon Wash Car Wash.
Western State Bank proudly supports Scott Community High School students and athletes as they prepare for another great year of achievements. Just as our students prepare for another successful year, we encourage you to be prepared for whatever life may bring you. Stop in and talk with the knowledgeable staff at Western State Bank, whether it be a new home loan, financing for your business, or any one of our checking and savings account options. We're here to help you. Make sure to check out all of our internet banking options provided at WSBKS.com. Western State Bank, member FDIC. And as always, go Beavers!
White's Food Liner is located at 1314 South Main Street in Scott City, Kansas. They are open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Home delivery is available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. just by calling 620-872-5854. They are a full-service grocery store offering a wide selection of varieties at affordable prices. Sign up today for their mobile app. Look for it in the App Play Store under White's Food Liner. Don't forget to visit today.
How would you describe your career?
Rewarding. It's more than just a job.
Great vacation, great sick pay.
Great opportunities to move forward. Good work environment, good people. Always something new, always something different.
Every day you learn something new.
Their commitment to education is second to none.
They pay for my school.
I love it because we're all one big happy family.
Family.
Family. It's like a family.
Grow your career with American Implement and John Deere.
And they invite you to come by and take a look around. Scott City with the loss here tonight on the girls' side, a final of 59-50, but a good effort for Scott City. The turnovers really proved to be too much in the first half for Scott City as they trailed by 11 at the break, 26-15, trailed by as many as 15. Scott City had to do them 5 on a couple of occasions in the fourth quarter, but could not get any closer. 59-50 your final there. As the final totals here tonight's ball game, Hugoton had a big night from Samaya Adigan. She had 9 in the fourth quarter, 27 in the ball game. Jenna Voss with 18. And also, they did have really some big scoring from some of their other players that don't. They were led in scoring here by Erica Felker, 14. Also, Avery Lewis with a career-high 14 points. 12 for Brooke Strine. 4 for Cheyenne Kramer. Megan Trout had a three-point play in the fourth quarter, and Kendall Gentry had a three-pointer in that first quarter for Scott City. But the story was the turnovers tonight for the Lady Beavers. They had 21 turnovers. They did a good job of cutting those down in the second half. They only had 7 of them in the second half. They did have 17 fouls, 4 steals, and 21 rebounds, 13 defensive and 8 offensive boards. Scott City was a perfect 5 of 5 at the line tonight. They fall by 9 tonight, 59-50. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we'll come back with the boys pregame with head coach Brian Gentry. And that'll be back in 1 minute here on Mix 94.5. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
back to the Scott Community Events Center. I'm Adam Kadavy here on Mix 94.5. Your pregame interview brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services with Hugoton Eagles in Scott City and Leota.
I'm joined here with Coach Brian Gentry here in the pregame. And, Coach, thanks for joining me here this evening. And it was quite a game there on Friday in that third-place game against Sterling. Unfortunately, fell short there in overtime, 66-61. But I tell you, there's a lot you can take out of that game there, even though it was a tough loss.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of guys step up and really show a lot of character. I think we talked about that, Friday. After the Southeast Saline game, we had to get back on track. We needed a good performance, win or lose. We needed to show up and play well, and we did so many good things. I mean, we took care of the ball. We got, quality shots, everything. We did such a good job, and to not walk out of there with the win was tough to swallow. There's a lot of things to build on from that game. I thought we had really good ball movement. I thought our defense was very active. The fourth quarter, we just had a couple of letdowns where we got a little too far away from shooters, and they made us pay for it. So learning from it, going forward, and you hope you continue to play that way and give yourself a chance.
Did you feel like you guys took some pretty good steps forward over the 3 days last week?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we went into there and played two state-ranked teams. We competed that Southeast Saline game. I mean, there's just a few couple minute, sessions in there where they really got going. And we made a couple of runs to kind of get back in there and make it competitive. And then they just kind of kept, keeping us at bay. But I thought we did a lot of good things. I thought we learned from that Southeast Saline game of what it's like to really play in transition because they do such a good job of it. And every one of those games you go through and you kind of pick and choose things that you want to, kind of take and pull from them. And moving the ball, transition offense, those are all things that our guys are fully capable of doing. So we've got to be able to implement those things. Sterling does such a good job of just running their stuff and being patient, and I thought we were as well. I really thought we were, and I think that shows in our turnovers. That game Friday, we didn't have near as many. Of course, they're not up pressuring you, and putting a press on like Southeast Saline was, but. Still, I thought we got high-quality shots. I thought, our ball movement was solid, and we played a good game. And, again, it was a tough one not to win.
Coach Brian Gentry here pregame tonight. Scott City facing Hugoton round 2, and they're coming off a pretty big high. They're beating the number 1 ranked team in 3A Southeast on Friday night to win that the Sterling Invitational there. But Hugoton, you saw them about 2.5 weeks ago. Pretty solid team there, and they've just continued to really build upon what you probably saw last from them.
Yeah, they're so good. Always have 3 guys on the floor that can really handle it. A couple of guys that can really shoot it. Some post guys that are very physical and long. They rebound well. So, I mean, just a very good team. Tonight, it's about fixing those things that hurt us in the last game. That last game, transition offense for them and offensive rebounding was really brutal for us. We got to keep them off the boards, and we've been doing a better job of that. But at the same time, it's tough to keep a team out of transition that has so many capable ball handlers and guys that can finish at the rim. It's a tall task. Don't get me wrong. So for us, it's about coming in and competing for 32 minutes. And trying to avoid those 3 and 4 minute stretches where we don't score and the other team goes on a 10 to 12 point run. So we've got to be able to limit those. We just want to compete. We want to make things tough. We don't want to give them easy looks in transition. We don't want to give them any easy things in the half court. But to do that, you've got to really commit for 32 minutes. Every single second you're out there, you got to go and play hard. We want to continue to move the ball. Because I thought in that last time we played Hugoton, that first half especially, we really moved the ball well and got quality shots. So. For us moving forward tonight, just want to continue to build upon what we were able to do these last couple of games. Even though we lost those games, we got better. As long as we continue with that mindset that we're going to go in, play as a team, and get better, we'll be fine. Tonight's going to be tough, but it should be an exciting one. 3 games in a row where it's a state-ranked team. You don't get these opportunities a ton, so you want to take full advantage of those opportunities and put your best foot forward.
Should be a fun one here tonight. League game for Scott City as they face Hugoton. Coach Brian Gentry here in the pregame. And Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck to you guys.
All right, thanks, Adam.
That was Scott City Beaver coach Brian Gentry. Your pregame interview brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services with Hugoton in Scott City and Leota. More to come in your pregame show. I'll have a breakdown of the matchup. Also, starters, keys the game, and the tip-off after this timeout. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
Two minutes, please. 2 minutes. actually make it come back after this break here.
How would you describe your career?
Rewarding.
It's more than just a job.
Great vacation, great sick pay.
Great opportunities to move forward. Good work environment, good people. Always something new, always something different.
Every day you learn something new.
Their commitment to education is second to none.
They pay for my school.
I love it because we're all one big happy family.
Family.
Family. It's like a family.
Grow your career with American Implement and John Deere.
Boiled down to one thing in the end, and that was turnovers.
You know, we just got to take care of the ball. We got to be more active, giving our guards somebody to pass to get through the trap. You know, if we get it over that trap, we got some easy baskets with, 4-on-3. But if we can't get that ball across that trap, then, we just can't get anything to work. So, we just got to do better as a team to get that broke down and get some easy baskets.
It felt like tonight they even had a third defender at Hugoton on Strine, especially in that first quarter. But that opened some things up early, and then that kind of loosened some things up there in the end for Brooke.
She just has to continue to battle every time. Sometimes they'll double team, sometimes they won't. Late in the game, we got some easy baskets to her. They were worried about other things, and we moved her to a short corner area, and she was able to get to the basket a little bit better. Every time we get her touches, it just creates different things on the offense. Whether she scores or whether she kicks back out, it makes everybody collapse on her, which opens up little shots for other people to step up.
And speaking of one of those that stepped up and scoring tonight, boy, what a night for Avery Lewis. She looked pretty comfortable out there shooting.
We really talked about, somebody has to step up and help Erica and Brooke and take some pressure off of them. And we've talked, she's got a nice shot. She's just got to have confidence with it. And she is starting to realize how to work herself in on the backside. She really is comfortable in that baseline down there. She just did a great job all the way around, not just offensive end, but she got a hard job of every time Hamlin was on the court, she was in Hamlin's space, and, she didn't let Hamlin breathe very much. So, Avery just really stepped up her offense and defense tonight, and hopefully she continues to have that confidence and it goes on the rest of the season.
Well, he shut down Hamlin to just 3 points, but it was big for Samaya and Gianno. They had 45 of their points combined, and you just shut down one, but they just have so many other options there.
When you have 3, and, we knew that Hamlin was the one that really struggled with us last time. So, I took Avery was on Voss when we were in Sterling, and so I switched her to Hamlin. So, it just happened that the other one stepped up. That's what happens when you have 3 really powerful players out there. We just gave Samaya too many open looks. After she made her second one, we should have got out there a little harder, and we just weren't out there with our hands up every time.
But you got to love the effort. You guys are down 15 at one point and got it to within 5 on a couple of occasions in the fourth quarter.
We did a good job. We battled. We never quit. We could have easily put our head down and said, okay, we're over. But we didn't. They kept battling. We got some big shots to close the gap. But they ended up and finished a couple on the end, and we just couldn't get those last little baskets to go.
Well, you turn around on Friday, continue league play. You head over to Cimarron there for a big game.
It's going to be another battle, especially on the road. But, we're ready. We're excited for what we have to do. We're going to break it down and be ready to play a good defensive game on Miller. But, we're going to be really attacking the inside and getting some big shots for us.
Well, a good effort for your team tonight. Just fell a little short here, Coach. Thank you for the time, and we'll see you guys later on here.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, once again, Coach Amy Felker stopping by here post-game. Lady Beavers fall 59-30. We'll take a 1-minute break, and we'll get you set up for the boys' side of things with Scott City and Hugoton. Back in a minute. This is Beaver Basketball. Big win over the Southeast Saline Trojans on Friday night to win the Sterling Invitational Tournaments at 55-47, a game that it was nip and tuck throughout. They had a double-digit lead in the second half, but held off the Trojans, the number 1 ranked team at the time. Then latest KBCA polls has Southeast Saline now at number 2 behind unbeaten Sabetha Blue Jays. But Hugoton this year, they are led by Riley Riddlesberger, who dumped in 37 points in the semifinal win over Sterling last Thursday night. He averages 19 points a game, but you can't sleep on Carson Bennett. He had 16 points, or averages 16 points a game. He had 17 in their win over Southeast Saline on Friday night. And don't forget, you had Deshaun Lewis, who had a big 19-point performance against Scott City the first time around. Those guards really are big. And then you get Emmett Gaskell underneath, and even Isaac Martin. This is going to be a big test here tonight for Scott City, and we'll get into those keys here in a little bit. So on the other side, Scott City played some pretty good basketball for the most part of that Sterling Invitational, and yeah, they had probably maybe one bad quarter out of all that, and that was the first quarter against Southeast Saline after they got out to a big run and never looked back on Scott City. But the Beavers really played pretty good for the most part. Sterling got hot there in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter against Scott City, and that they forced overtime and ended up with the victory there up by 5. Sterling, a number 9 ranked team now in Class 2A, but that's a team that did not have a senior play in that tournament last couple of games there. But so far the Beavers, they had a big performance for Jackson Rumford, who's an all-tournament team member, averages 17 a game, and he had 27 points, a career high on Friday against the Sterling Black Bears. Beavers averaging now 52 points a game. Hugoton now averaging 66 points a contest. This is their 6th straight game outside of Hugoton Gymnasium. So we should be in for a good one here tonight on the boys' side. We will get started here momentarily here with keys to the game. Of course, last meeting between these two this year, Hugoton has won. Let's see, they have won quite a few here. They have actually won the last meeting here in this gymnasium. Scott City won that last year, 60-59, before Hugoton has won the last 2. The series since 1989 is tied at 19-19. As we get to your starters here tonight, that is presented by Security State Bank in Scott City and Leota. For the Eagles of Hugoton, coached by Trey O'Neill. He's in his 2nd season. The former Scott City Beaver, Fort Hays State Tiger, is assisted by Gentry Slocum. As they start off, Deshaun Lewis, the 5'10 junior. He averages 8.5 points and 3 rebounds a game and 3 assists. Riley Riddlesberger, the 6'2 senior, 19.2 points. He's a 3-point machine. He averages 2.6 assists as well, so he does pretty good in that department. Carson Bennett, a 6'2 senior, averaging 16.2 points, 5.4 rebounds a game. Also, Emmett Gaskell, the 6'3 junior, 7.3 points, 5.3 rebounds a game. And Isaiah Harris, who's been inserted in the starting lineup here as the season has gone on for Hugoton. He is a 6'4 junior at 3.6 points and 3.1 rebounds a game. Deshaun Lewis, Riley Riddlesberger, Carson Bennett, Emmett Gaskell, and Isaiah Harris for the Eagles of Hugoton. For the Scott City Beavers, coached by Brian Gentry in the seventh year, assisted by Joey Meyer and Drew Kite. It'll be Dylan Metzger, the 6'1 senior, 11.5 points, 2.5 boards a game. Avery Knoll, a 6'3 junior. He averages 4.8 points and 4.3 rebounds a game. Alex Tarango, the 5'9 sophomore, averages 3.6 points and 1.4 rebounds a game. Jackson Rumford, the 6'5 sophomore, 17.7 points and just under 9 rebounds a game. And Lawson Bailey, who had a dozen against Sterling on Friday, 6'1 senior, averaging 9.8 points and 5.5 rebounds. Dylan Metzger, Avery Knoll, Alex Tarango, Jackson Rumford, and Lawson Bailey, the 5 to start for Scott City. Also, Riley Riddlesberger and Carson Bennett were on that all-tournament team at Sterling for Hugoton last weekend as well. Let's move forward now to our keys to the game. They're presented here by State Farm agent Michael Trower. You go with the proven winner. When it comes to insurance, they score big with their policy holders. The big key tonight for Scott City, what really hurt them in the first meeting, is getting back on defense, transition defense. That's your first big key for Scott City tonight. The second key is working into the post and kick it out, hit your open shots. They've done a good job with ball movement, ball reversal here as of late. Those are your keys here tonight, presented by State Farm agent Michael Trott. The first meeting was won by Hugoton, 80-46. As we are set to go here. It's 80-46 back on the 6th of January. Doug Richter, Randy Richter, Jared Martin, the officials on the floor here tonight as Hugoton comes out in their road blue tops with the white numbers and letters in red trim. Scott City in the home white uniforms here once again tonight. They have the lighter blue numbers and letters in the dark blue trim. Jackson Rumford, Isaiah Harris, the tip center. And this was won by Scott City as we're underway. The Beavers will move from left to right here in half number one. Man-to-man defense opened up by the Hugoton Eagles. Lawson Bailey goes left for the pass to Dylan Metzger. Bailey had a big 14-point first half against Hugoton in the first meeting 18 days ago. Jackson Rumford pivots, now back up top to Metzger. Metzger will drive in on Riddlesberger, steps back, and now Dylan Duff, who's actually in the starting lineup tonight for Scott City, in place of Avery Knoll there. So that was a late change there. 7:25 to go here in the first quarter. So Duff with his second start of the year into Rumford, who's double teamed, and a whistle and a foul on the floor. So the foul on Carson Bennett, his first. Ball game's first foul here with 7:22 to go first period. Scott City with another crack at it. They've had the ball for 38 seconds here. Up top to Duff. And now goes to Rumford. He'll take the foul line jumper. Oh, that went halfway in and out, and the rebound to Isaiah Harris off a deflection. That was a good look there, but couldn't get that one to rattle home. 7:05 to work first period, no score. Hugoton's first trip down the court here with Carson Bennett. They never trailed in the first meeting between the two teams. Off the screen, here's Riddlesberger, straightaway three. Off the back iron, the rebound tip. And Rumford had it, and then it's Deshaun Lewis, and then throws it away. First turnover of the ball game for the Eagles. Here's Scott City down the floor with a layup. Boston Bailey, it spins in. 2-0 Scott City with 6:40 to go first quarter. So that'll be big without Avery Knoll in the lineup tonight. Here's a layup, no for Harris, and Hugoton gets another crack at it here. 2-0. Here's a layup on the other end. That's a foul on the floor before the shot. It went in. First foul on Scott City. That'll be on Dylan Metzger. Here's first. 6:28 to go first quarter. 2-0 Scott City. The Eagles to trigger it in underneath their own basket. And they get it into Carson Bennett off the inbounds. We're tied at 2. 6:20 to go first quarter. In the front court it goes to Jackson Rumford. Rumford with it. Uses up his dribble up high. Goes right with the pass to Lawson Bailey. Now to Alex Tarango. He'll penetrate. He'll take a strong hang. Shoots, misses a wild shot, and Isaiah Harris with the board for Hugoton. They have the ball in the front court, tied at 2, 2 minutes in. With it up top is Carson Bennett. Now left side to Gaskell up top. Riddlesberger takes a 16-footer, too strong. Rebound over the top. Bennett over the top of Tarango, and Hugoton will reset. Driving in, hanging, shooting, leaving it short is Bennett, and the rebound this time to Alex Tarango for Scott City. In transition, left side, Lawson Bailey stops, pops the triple, short. Rebound, here's Gaskell in the run, and Hugoton has numbers. Lead pass to Deshaun Lewis. He will lay it up and score it, and Hugoton with the 4-2 lead with 5:26 to go first quarter. Hugoton with the last 4 points of the game, and Scott City down 2 here with 5:20 to work. Dylan Metzger, he'll drive right side, but cut off out high by Bennett. Up top to Tarango, right side to Duff, and now to Lawson Bailey. Gets a screen, looking to drive in, almost stripped him. Got a whistle and a push. Out high, team foul number 2 on Hugoton. That'll be on Isaiah Harris, his first. Scott City will bring in Coy Vance for the first time, the 5'10 junior. He'll replace Alex Tarango. 4-2 Hugoton leads. Scott City with the ball. 5:06 to go in the opening 8 minutes of play. They'll inbound it backside. Now up top from Vance to Duff, and now Vance with it from Rumford. Duff with it. Skips it over right side to Lawson Bailey. Leaps high to get it. He'll pick it up. He'll put it on the floor, hangs. And he is, boy, a lot of contact to let it go. And the rebound tipped in the hands of Gaskell, and a foul on Vance, his first. And Scott City with 2 team fouls with 4:49 to work here in the first period. And so Scott City down by the count of 4-2 with 4:49 to go first quarter. Hugoton looking to add to their 4-0 run. Deshaun Lewis up top, now into Gaskell as Carson Bennett, or Isaac Martin, in there for the first time, the 6'2 junior. Up top now to Riley Riddlesberger. Riddlesberger with it, guarded by Duff, and now underneath behind the defense, deflected out high by Scott City, and now to bounce, it'll stay with the Eagles with 4:29 to work first quarter. 4-2 your score. Hugoton with the lead in the ball. The Eagles to trigger it in. Gaskell right side. Riddlesberger 3. Bounces off. Rebound lost. Bailey had good position on Carson Bennett and draws the foul, and Hugoton in the third of the quarter. So Riddlesberger so far hasn't found his range from 3. That is the second on Bennett. Third team foul as Griffin Hager will take his spot. As Hager, the 5'10 junior, was scoreless against the Trojans on Friday night. 4-2 lead for Hugoton. Scott City with the ball with Rumford. 4:18 to work first quarter. Scott City's only points coming from Bailey into Vance. He'll hang. Bank shot too strong off to the right, and the rebound and lead pass down the floor. Lewis, good shot. That was tipped by Lawson Bailey and off of Lewis. And Hugoton with their second turnover. Good recovery defense by Scott City that time. Hugoton with the 4-2 lead. We've been stuck there for about a minute and a half. It seems like a lot longer. Halfway through this first quarter as Rumford brings it across, then flips it to Coy Vance. Up top to Metzger, right side to Lawson Bailey, guarded by Lewis, trying to get it in to Rumford. Now Vance will lob it to Rumford, double teamed immediately, goes to his left. Back up top to Vance, he'll penetrate, kick it left side to Duff. Back to Rumford out high, right side to Metzger. Thought about attempting the 3, but doesn't over Riddlesberger. 3:38 to go first quarter. Tarango and Camden Volgamore to check in for Scott City. Nice cut. Here's Lawson Bailey. Pump fakes. Goes up and scores it. He has all 4 points for Scott City with 3:29 to go first quarter. Breaks a 3-minute drought. We're tied at 4. Once again, Bailey with all 4 of Scott City's points here in this first 4.5 minutes of play. And Vance with a foul at high is second and the team's third. As Camden Volgamore checks in, and also Alex Tarango for the second time. Tarango checks back in. No Avery Knoll right now for Scott City. 3:20 to work first quarter. 4-4 is your score. Up top, it'll go to Isaac Martin. He'll go left on Tarango. Now Riddlesberger, deep range 3, and he buries it. 7-4, 3 minutes to go first quarter as Hugoton finds the long distance from Riddlesberger. As I mentioned, he had 37 against Sterling in the Sterling semifinal game on Thursday night last week. With it as Alex Tarango gets stripped out high, loses it, and we're going to get a tie-up. It'll be a turnover on Scott City. The Beavers had a season-low 4 turnovers, though, against Sterling on Friday. That's their first turnover of the night with 2:45 to go first quarter. 7-4 Hugoton with the lead and the ball back. Been more of a defensive struggle for both sides here in this first period of play. Right side to Griffin Hager. Will throw it over left side to Riddlesberger. Turns down the 3 and then stops and hits a deep 2 too strong, or launches a deep 2. The bounce out high to Hager. And he'll lay it up, but he draws the foul. So right now, Scott City is being out-rebounded 8-1 in this first quarter with 2:27 to go, and Dylan Metzger picks up his second foul. And Scott City with a little bit of a shorter bench tonight. Now in some foul trouble with Metzger with 2 and Vance with 2 is Martin to the free throw line. He was scoreless against the Trojans on Friday night, and he hits that free throw. He averages 6 a game, 8-4 with 2:27 to go in the opening period. Dylan Duff will replace Dylan Metzger, will sit down with 2 fouls. He has yet to score or attempt a shot here in this first quarter. As Hugoton now with a 4-point lead, and they'll stay that way. Rebound lost by Volgamore. He ends up tracking it down and then tries to get it to Rumford and throws it away. Turnover number 2 on Scott City. 8-4, 2:23 to go first quarter. Hugoton with the lead and inbound underneath the basket. They get a screen for Riddlesberger, quickly guarded. And now he'll dump it. No look pass left side to Deshaun Lewis out high. Entry feed to Martin. Backdoor cut. Here's now wraparound pass intercepted by Dylan Duff. Good defense. 3rd turnover. Now Scott City will have the ball down 4 in the final 2 minutes of this first quarter. Tarango uses up his dribble, needs help, finds Rumford out high. Almost bumped by Martin that time. Rumford the dribble right side. And now nice touch pass into Rumford, who kisses it off the glass. Good ball movement. And Rumford with his first 2, 8-6 with 1:53 to go here in the first quarter. Good ball movement on that right half of the court for Scott City, and that results in 2 and a nice cut by Rumford to the basket. And here's a deep 3 launch for Riddlesberger. Makes it 11-6 with 100 seconds to go first quarter. As Riddlesberger finding range, he's now 2 of 4 from downtown. And now Rumford will drive in strong, gets it stripped and stolen away. Scott City's 3rd turnover. 1:25 to work first quarter, 11-6 Hugoton in the lead of the ball. And now Emmett Gaskell, he'll go down, he'll go around Rumford and lay it up, his first 2. It's a 13-6 lead with 1:15 to go first quarter. A 9-2 run for Hugoton over the last 2 minutes to go up by 7. Left side to Camden Volgamore. Finds Lawson Bailey up top. He'll try a 3. He'll be short on that one. It'll go out of bounds to Hugoton. As back in will be Isaiah Harris to replace Emmett Gaskell. Exactly a minute to go first quarter, 13-6 Hugoton, as they have hit 3 of their last 4 shots. And they have a 7-point lead. Deshaun Lewis with it now to Isaac Martin, back to Lewis. He'll try a right wing 3, too strong, rebound. Isaac Martin splits 2 Beavers for the rebound, and he'll save the possession for the Eagles. And now Riddlesberger for his 3rd 3 of the quarter, no, and a whistle. That'll be a foul on Isaiah Harris. That'll be his 2nd and the team's 4th. As Coach Trey O'Neill tells us displeasure about the foul to Randy Richter, who walks by the sideline there, the bench of Hugoton. 30 seconds to go first quarter, 13-6 Eagle lead. Scott City ball. Bailey within the front court, tried to get a screen. That's going to be a moving screen on Alex Tarango, and that's his first and the team's 5th of the quarter. And also the 4th Scott City turnover. 26.5 seconds to go first quarter at 13-6 for Hugoton. It's their ball back. As Deshaun Lewis running the point and walk it across here at 20 seconds as they move right to left. Hugoton with a 9-2 run over the last 3 minutes. Left side to Griffin Hager. Hager 1 dribble back up top to Isaac Martin. He'll drive in, almost stripped, and he'll be call a tie-up. That'll be a turnover to Scott City here with 11 seconds to go first quarter. So the Beavers with the ball back down 7 here. See if they can get some points here to close out this opening period. Tarango with it, and now to Jackson Rumford with 5 seconds. He gets it stripped out high by Martin. Scott City's 5th turnover. And now Martin will not get a shot off, and that's the end of your first quarter. 13-6 Hugoton with the lead after 1 over Scott City. Back in a minute for the second quarter of play. This is Beaver basketball.
A-Plus Aviation.
Chambliss Roofing has you covered since 1993. They are prepared for any job like maintenance and repair, an upgrade, or a new install. They provide the best customer service for residential and commercial roofing. Looking to upgrade to a metal roof? They can do that as well. If you have any existing damage or are looking for a roof that will last for years to come, don't wait to get a free consultation. Visit their website, shamblessroofing.com, by scanning the QR code on screen now.
How would you describe your career?
Rewarding.
It's more than just a job.
Great vacation, great sick pay.
Great opportunities to move forward. Good work environment, good people. Always something new, always something different.
Every day you learn something new.
Their commitment to education is second to none.
They pay for my school.
I love it because we're all one big happy family.
Family.
Family. It's like a family.
Grow your career with American Implement and John Deere.
13-6, Hugoton in the lead. It'll be their ball to begin the second quarter here on KSKL Scott City. Adam Kadavy with you here. Scott City led by Lawson Bailey. Fort Jackson run for 2, but Scott City with 5 turnovers already in this first quarter. Hugoton owned the glass 8-2 in that opening 8 minutes. 5 fouls for Scott City. Hugoton with 4. They had 4 turnovers as well. Hugoton led by Riley Riddlesberger with 6 on a pair of threes. Deshaun Lewis will drive in. Scott City goes to zone now. Riddlesberger up top. Dylan Metzger back out there with 2 fouls. Did not attempt a shot in that first quarter as Hugoton has it. Griffin Hager 3. Blocked by Sage Steckline, and the rebound to Jackson Rumford. So Steckline in there for the first time in the game. The 6'3 junior, left side, Lawson Bailey. Can Scott City cut a little closer here in the opening seconds of the second period? High, low, and Rumford catches left block, picks it up, and will put it on the floor to Steckline to Bailey. Now left side to Metzger, guarded by Bennett, or correction by Hager. Metzger will go around him, his floater. Yes, he's got it, his first 2, 13-8. 7:10 to go first half, and the lead down to 5 for the Eagles. 7:03 to go first half. Up top with it is Riddlesberger. Hugoton was 5 of 14 from the floor in that first quarter. Scott City was 3 of 9. Here's hanging shooting, and that's a whistle. The moving screen on Hugoton. On Isaac Martin, his first, team's 5th. With 6:49 to go first half. And Scott City can chip away at this deficit a little bit more. They're down 13-8. 6:45 to work first half of play. Metzger will bring it across for Scott City. Goes left to Lawson Bailey. Bailey holds it. Now lobs it into Rumford, catches it, goes layup on the right side. He has 4, and it's a 3-point game. 6:32 to go first half. You knew it was there for quite a while there, and Scott City got that one to work. 13-10, 6:25 to go first half. The first 4 belong to the white-shirted Beavers here in this quarter. Riddlesberger now to Isaac Martin. He'll drive in, bounce pass behind the defense, and Isaiah Harris with an easy 2, his first basket, 15-10. 6:09 to go first half. Hugoton with their first points of the quarter there. Left side to Lawson Bailey, guarded tightly by Deshaun Lewis off the screen. Here, Sage Steckline, high, low into Rumford, catches it, layup right side, and he's fouled. And if that's on Isaiah Harris, that'll be foul number 3. Rumford with 2 free throws coming up. Nope, they're going to get that on Isaac Martin, but that's his second foul. Bennett with 2, Martin with 2, and Harris with 2 for Hugoton. With 5:56 as they have 6 fouls this half. Rumford with 2 free throws, too strong on the first. He is 75% on the air. Scott City was 9 of 12 on Friday down at Sterling. They bring in Emmett Gaskell and Alexis Jimenez. The 5'2 junior in for the first time. Rumford misses them both, and the rebound to the Eagles, so they cannot cash in on the fouls. Scott City's been shooting the free throws much better, though, other than that trip. 5:45 to work first half. Up top, Lewis turns down the 3. He'll drive in. His floater is good down Main Street. He has 4, and 4 in a row for Hugoton to go back up 17-10 with 5.5 to go first half. As Hugoton applies a little man-to-man full court pressure, but Scott City breaks it just to slow the pace down there and make Scott City earn their trip across. Now behind Alex Trango, trying to get it to Trango. Steckline and a backdoor cut and miscommunication, and turnover number 6 on Scott City. So both teams have countered with 4-0 runs this quarter, and it's 17-10 with 5:20 to go first half. Gaskell with it. He'll drive in up top, and Isaac Martin will try a three. Off the heel, rebound. Dylan Metzger had it ripped out of there by Deshaun Lewis. That time, and the layup is good for Riddlesberger. He has 8, and they have their largest lead at 19-10 with 5 minutes to go first half. That time, it looked like Metzger thought he's had the easy rebound, but Lewis saved that possession and earned the 2 points there. 4:50 to work first half. They'll get it right side to Lawson Bailey. He'll put it on the floor, hangs or stops in the paint. Now left side to Alex Tarango. Uses up a dribble, finds Metzger out high. He'll try a deep three. He'll be short on it and off to the right to go out of bounds. Eloy Ruella centers for the first time. The 5'9" sophomore will replace Alex Tarango. It's a 6-0 Hugoton run, their largest lead of the game at 19-10, 4:36 to go first half. And I think this pace favors Scott City, but they've got to start taking care of the ball and knocking down some shots here. Riddlesberger with it. He'll launch a deep three, and he'll miss it, but he's going to have 3 free throws. The foul will be on Jackson Rumford, his first, team 6th. To me, in my opinion, which doesn't amount to anything, he already launched the 3 and then he got fouled. To me, that should be just a foul on the floor, but that's a judgment call as Riddlesberger hits the free throw and makes it 20-10 with 4:25 to go first half. Second free throw too strong, and he'll have a third coming. I say that because when they go in and it's a shooting foul and a 2-point shot, they're fouled in the act of shooting. But you see a lot of it most times. They've already launched the 3, and then they get fouled on the box out or a clear out. 21-10 as Riddlesberger hits 2 out of 3, and Hugoton on an 8-0 run, and they'll knock the inbounds pass out with 4:24 to go first half. The only thing I could see is just for just pure landing by the 3-point shooters, why they call that a shooting foul. Metzger inbounded into Jackson Rumford. And high dribble, and that's going to be a carry and 7th turnover. 4:21 to go first half, and Hugoton has built up an 11-point lead on an 8-0 run, 21-13. They're on a 13-4 run here in the last 5 minutes of this ball game. With it is Emma Gaskell, goes right side, drives in strong, and he'll travel with it before laying it up. Turnover number 6. Trey O'Neill says that was not a turnover. And Scott City inbounds it in here with 4:10 as we're at the midway point of this second quarter. Beavers down by 11, 21-10. Metzger with the only points, or first 2 points this quarter for Scott City. And now they lob it into Steckline. Goes left corner to the Ruelas, turns down the 3. He'll drive in, floater blocked out by Deshaun Lewis. And it'll still stay with the Beavers here with 3:55 to go first half. Lewis just came out of nowhere there. He's done that a couple of times already, of course, with the rebound that ripped away from Metzger, and that time on the block. Underneath, now Ruelas right side with it here with 3:48 to go first half. Scott City down 11, 21-10. And now loosen elbow, and Scott City turns the ball over, their 8th of the night. In transition underneath to Lewis. Pump fakes, flips it left side to Jimenez, and now up top it'll go to, and stolen away. That was driving in was Gaskell. Scott City forces Hugoton in their 7th turnover. 3:25 to work first half. Scott City down 11. They have not scored in the last 3 minutes after they had pulled it to within 3 early second quarter. Steckline up top of it goes right. Here's Eloy Ruelas. He'll launch a 3 off the back iron, rebound out high, and on the run is Emmett Gaskell for Hugoton. He'll take it all the way, go right side, shot blocked that time, pinned at the basket, but Hugoton gets the rebound, and they get another crack at it. They'll pull it out here with 2:55 to go first half. With it is Deshaun Lewis. Ball fake, left baseline, 2 for Isaac Martin is good. It's a 10-0 run, 23-13 timeout Hugoton with 2:48 to go first half. It's a 30-second timeout. And Hugoton on a 12-0 run. Basketball presented by Pokey Feeders, Platinum H Insurance, Plain Jan's, New Life Market, Norder Supply, Miller Veterinary Clinic, Midwest Mixer, Western Bearing, Metzger Appraisals, Metzger Family Farms, McCarty Family Farms, Lone Tree Farms and Livestock, Lebanon Lawn and Tree, and Jackson Legal Group. Scott City has gone ice cold here over the last 3.5, almost 4 minutes. And Hugoton with the last 10 points to build up a 23-10 lead here with 2:48 to go first half. It's been kind of an awkward first half, but not a lot of flow, really. It's been a minimal possession first half, but Scott City with 8 turnovers. But even though Hugoton has 7, it just feels kind of a hangover maybe for both teams from the Sterling tournament. But Hugoton with the 10-point lead here, or 13-point lead, 23-10, 2:40 to go first half. Lawson Bailey will drive right side, right corner to Duff. Can he hit his first 3 of the year? Air ball too strong, and the rebound to Riddlesberger. Baseball passes it, but intercepted. Playing free safety there was Eloy Ruelas, and it's turnover number 8 on Hugoton. And now right corner to Duff, up top to Ruelas. He'll ball fake, and now to Dylan Metzger here with 2:19 to go first half. He'll go to his left, gets a screen, baseline jumper too strong, and Scott City's shooting woes continue. The rebound goes to Emmett Gaskell, already collects his 4th board of the half. And now Riddlesberger steps back, fakes the 3, bounce pass in the paint, finds Isaac Martin. He'll pull it back out with 2 minutes to go first half. Now spin move, Riddlesberger hangs, shoots, and crawls off. Rebound, Jackson Rumford, his 2nd board of the night. Here with 1:50 to go first half. Up top to Rumford between the rings. He had 4 threes against Sterling on Friday. Now Lawson Bailey will take it strong to the rack, and he walks with, or no, they're going to get a pushing foul before the travel, and that'll be team foul number 7 on Hugoton this half, and I believe they're going to get Martin with his 3rd, and they do. With 99 seconds to go first half, and a 1-1 for Lawson Bailey. Griffin Hager also in, as well as Isaiah Harris for Hugoton. That'll be Isaac Martin, and also out is Emmett Gaskell. 1-1 for Bailey. He's 44% on the line this year. And that one bounces off. Scott City 0-3 there, and Isaiah Harris with his 4th board. And Scott City on a 5-minute drought here, down 13, 90 seconds to go first half. Driving in, now back up top. Here's a 3. Too strong for Isaiah Harris, but he gets his own rebound. And Scott City is just being owned majorly on the boards here in this first half. Scott City only 4 rebounds, Hugoton with 14. Can't give this Hugoton team too many second chance opportunities. They have 6 offensive boards in this first half, as we're down to the final minute plus in this first half. And then Lewis will launch a 3, too strong. Rebound tipped, and Lawson Bailey grabs that one. He'll bring it across 3 on 2 numbers. Duff pull up. Now Rumford, he'll try a 3. Can he get that one to go? Yes, he can. Rumford with his 9th 3, 23-13, 52 seconds to go first half. And that'll break a 4-minute and 40-second drought for Scott, sitting in a 10-0 Hugoton run. 40 seconds to go first half. Driving in, pumping, shooting, crawling up, but the rebound, Harris loses it out of bounds as Jimenez missed the shot. And it'll belong to Scott City as they'll bring in Emmett Gaskell to replace Isaiah Harris, the Eagles. So Scott City trying to get this down to a single-digit game with 36.7 to go first half. Hugoton will apply some pressure in the backcourt. 23-13 you score. Eloy Ruelas to bring it across. Still with the dribble. Lobs it over to Metzger. Open for 3. Too strong. Rebound Hugoton. Riley Riddlesberger with the board. 23-13. Metzger with 2 points. Has only attempted 3 shots here. 17 seconds to go here first half. 10 seconds to go. Hugoton with the ball. 1 crack at it here, right side. With it is Hager. He'll drive in. 2 seconds. His layup is good as the first half comes to an end. 25-13 is your score. Hugoton with the basket there to lead by a dozen over Scott City here at the break here in the second game of the doubleheader. We'll step aside for this timeout. We'll keep it right here momentarily. 25-13 your halftime score. Hugoton up by 12 at the break here. Scott City only mustered 7 points in that second quarter, but they had a 4-minute, 40-second drought there along the way. As keep it right here, we'll run down some first half scoring here for Scott City and Hugoton real quick. For Hugoton, they were led in the first half by Riley Riddlesberger. He ended up with 10 points. Also, Isaac Martin added 3. Emmett Gaskell with 2. Isaiah Harris with 2. Deshaun Lewis with 4. Griffin Hager with that basket right before halftime. For Scott City in the first half, they had 7 for Jackson Rumford, 4 for Lawson Bailey, and 2 for Dylan Metzger. That was just their 13 points here in this first half. So Scott City was outscored 12-7 in that second quarter as they trail 25-13 here at the break. We'll pause here for a timeout as this is Scott City Beaver basketball.
If you're like most people.
Chambliss Roofing has you covered since 1993. They are prepared for any job like maintenance and repair, an upgrade, or a new install. They provide the best customer service for residential and commercial roofing. Looking to upgrade to a metal roof? They can do that as well. If you have any existing damage or are looking for a roof that will last for years to come, don't wait to get a free consultation. Visit their website, chamblissroofing.com, by scanning the QR code on screen now.
Furrow Heating and Cooling of Scott City is a proud sponsor of Beaver activities. Brent and Angie take pride in helping our activities and support our students 100%. They can also help you with any heating and cooling needs that you have. Give Furrow Heating and Cooling a call at 620-872-3508 and see if they can help you with your needs today.
Fairleigh Feed Yard is dedicated to investing in our facilities and staff to provide the best experience possible for the cattle feeder and, in the end, the consumers of our product. We are always in the market to purchase corn and other commodities from local producers. Call our office at 620-872-2111 for current pricing. Our dedicated employees and their families are very important to us, and we are proud of their children that are current Beavers and individuals that will grow into those roles in the future. Fairleigh Feed Yard is privileged to support Scott City youth and are honored to cheer on the Beavers.
rebounds, 9 defensive and 6 offensive. In the first half, Hugoton ended up 3 of 5 at the line, 8 of 16 on twos, just 2 of 10 on threes. They finished 10 of 26 from the floor in the first half, about 38% there. For Scott City, they were also 38% from the floor in the first half, 6 of 16, 1 of 6 on threes, 5 of 10 on twos, and 0 of 3 at the line. The Beavers had 6 fouls, 3 turnovers, and 5 steals, and they only had 5 rebounds all on the defensive side. As both teams added some foul trouble in the first half. Both teams had 3 players with at least 2 fouls. Scott City just had 2 players with 2 fouls. Dylan Metzger and Coy Vance ended up with 2 fouls. Isaac Martin had 3, 2 each for Carson Bennett and Isaiah Harris. As that was a foul trouble for Hugoton in the first half and also for Scott City. 25-13 your break. Let's take a final timeout of 2 minutes. Come back for the second half of play. This is Beaver basketball.
If you are in the market for a new or used vehicle, check out J&R Car and Truck Center of Scott City. J&R Car and Truck has a fully trained service and parts staff for repairs on most makes and models of vehicles. Locally owned and operated, J&R Car and Truck Center provides over 250 new and used vehicles in stock and ready to be delivered. Stop on in and check out jrcarandtruck.com for your next vehicle. J&R Car and Truck Center, your Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealership in Scott City.
Our goal, our vision, our desire is to help our communities be healthier and be able to provide that quality of health, not just for today, but I'd like to sit across the table from patients in years to come and realize we've made a difference in their lives. How do we get it? 271-0243 in Scott City, 872-2310. ProHealthKS.com.
Pets.
Scott County Hospital is a highly trained, motivated, and compassionate professional serving the needs of their community. With a beautiful modern facility with state-of-the-art, they continually strive to develop comprehensive services to fill their patients' needs. The specialty clinic at Scott Hospital offers a variety of specialists you would only expect in a larger hospital. Why travel out when you can be seen right here in Western Kansas? If you're in need of a medical specialist, talk with your physician about it. To meet with one of our visiting specialty doctors. Scott County Hospital, we put our heart in healthcare.
Halftime here once again. Halftime of 25-13 for the Hugoton Eagles over the Scott City Beavers. As we're moments away from starting the second half, want to remind you, of course, that coming up Friday, the Beavers will be back in action at Cimarron to take on the Blue Jays. Girls to tip at 6 o'clock with the boys to follow. Go on the air at around 5:40 for that one, and then they'll be back home next Tuesday to take on the Hayes High Indians and a WAC versus GWAC battle there. And that'll be winter homecoming next Tuesday night, by the way. They had to move that from the 3rd of February to January 31st. But so that's next Tuesday night for Scott City, winter homecoming. They had some conflicts next Friday. That's the main reason why. It'll be Scott City ball to begin the third quarter as they've yet to break their team huddle. Hugoton has won the last 9 games of their season here at 10-2. Scott City trying to snap a 2-game skid here. Get back to north of 500 with 7 games to go. Pretty rough schedule coming up here as well. Third quarter underway. Scott City with Alex Tarango, Dylan Duff, Dylan Metzger, Lawson Bailey, and Jackson Rumford. They get it to Rumford at top of the key. One dribble, looking for a cutter. Pivots, now bounces it out left to Alex Tarango. Isaiah Harris to start. Now Rumford loses it, stripped and turnover on Scott City, their 9th of the game. Riley Riddlesberger, Carson Bennett, Emmett Gaskell, Deshaun Lewis, and Isaiah Harris for Hugoton. He has the left block, left side to Lewis. Up top, here's Bennett and a whistle, and he's called for a travel, 9th Hugoton turnover. 7:27 to go, third quarter. As Lawson Bailey now to Alex Chirango, he'll bring it across as we're just underway here in this third quarter. Beavers trying to snap a 2-game losing streak to Hugoton, who has dominated this series. And Lawson Bailey tries a 3, no, but the follow right there, and the first offensive board results in points for Scott City. And Alex Chirango with his first basket, 25-15, 7:06 to go here in the third quarter. Hugoton back down the other way. And now, well, underneath, here's Harris, goes up over Rumford and scores at his 4th point, 27-15, 6:50 to go in this third quarter. Scott City trying to make a little run here, but Hugoton has answered each basket here for Scott City. Last 4 points for either side there. It's Metzger with it, but help defense on the screen. He'll drive right side, is cut off around the perimeter up top. And Trangle will take a strong, his shot is blocked out of bounds, but you gotta love the aggression. It'll still stay with the Beavers with 6:33 left in the third. 27-15 Hugoton lead, Scott City ball. Bailey to inbound it in. Throw it up top to Jackson Rumford, who flips it to Dylan Duff. Right corner to Metzger. He'll try a 3. He'll be short on the 3, and the rebound into the hands of Carson Bennett for Hugoton. As they continue to dominate the glass here tonight. 6:20 to go, third quarter. Little give and go underneath to Harris, who puts it up and scores it. And Hugoton up by 14, their largest lead of the night, 29-15 with 6:12 to go, third quarter. Harris with the last 4 for Hugoton. They go up by 14. Riddlesberger ankle. Hopefully that's all it is. And Triangle will hit his 3rd 3 of the year. And you hope it's nothing serious. It's 29-18 with 6:02 to go. And Riddlesberger will exit. Boy, you hope it's nothing serious. That would be a big blow. He has 10 points and averages 19. Griffin Hager to entry or to check in. Scott City with their 2nd 3 of the night. Triangle with 5. He had 5 on Friday against Sterling. And it's 29-18 here with 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Riddlesberger walks off into the corner with Coach Gentry Slocum. Left Harrison now underneath. He'll put it up, leaves it short, but he gets his own follow-up. He has the last 6 for Hugoton. 31-18 with 5:45 to go, third quarter. And Harris is having a heyday underneath there on the boards here. And a whistle and a foul high on Griffin Hager, his first. Team's first of the half. First foul either side. With 5:39 left in the third. 31-18, Hugoton with the lead. And Scott City's only been able to score back-to-back baskets once tonight. That was to begin the second quarter with the first 4 points. Here's Alex Stringer, right corner. He'll launch a rainbow 3. Short rebound tipped it into the hands of Isaiah Harris for Hugoton. They have a 13-point lead with 5.5 to go, third quarter. And now they'll play weave up top. Here's Harris, goes right side. He has the last 6 for the Eagles to Deshaun Lewis. Steps back outside the arc, and now to Carson Bennett. Bennett with it, guarded by Bailey, goes right to Griffin Hager. Back up top to Deshaun Lewis. Left side he goes to Emma Gaskell. He'll drive to the rack. He'll lay it up and miss it, but right there is Harris with a follow. Harris with 2 offensive boards, and it's now 33-18 with 5 minutes to go, third quarter. It's an 8-5 run, that is, and an 8-2 run in this, 8-3 run in this game for Hugoton. Harris with all 8 of their points in this quarter. Rumford with splash home a 3. He has 10 and 2 threes. 33-21 with 4:48 to go, third quarter. And much needed basket for Scott City. And now ball deflected up and is stolen. Dylan Duff with the steal. Duff will go left side, pull up, flip it back behind him to Bailey for a 3. The trailer short rebound. Scott City will track it down out high with Jackson Rumford. And now underneath the Duff, he'll put it off the glass. He can't get it to go. Tipped out high. And here is Metzger with it, and that'll be a blocking foul on Isaiah Harris, his 3rd. So Scott City has 3 offensive rebounds now in this quarter and all in this game. Harris now with 3 with 4:26 to go, third quarter. As that'll be Harris. As Isaac Martin takes his spot. So Scott City with an opportunity to get back-to-back baskets here. Rumford with it with 4:20 to go, third quarter. Flips it over to his left to Metzger into Bailey at the block. He'll go up high off the glass. Yes. He has 6, 33-23. Scott City with the last 5, and they call a 30-second timeout with 4:13 to go third quarter. And Scott City back to within 10, 33-23. Basketball tonight brought to you by Booster Club corporate sponsors, including JF Beaver Advertising, also J&R Trucking, J&R Car and Truck, HRC Feed Yards, Haymaby Farms, High Choice Feeders, Harris Chiropractic and Acupuncture. Also, Great Western Tire, Fro Electric, Fro Ag Service, Fro Heating and Cooling, and Farm Bureau Financial Services, Neil Baker. So Scott City not going away here, and I think they've done a good job in transition defense here tonight. 33-23 is your score. This pace has slowed down quite a bit from the last meeting. I don't know, it has to be a little uncomfortable for Scott City as well. They like to get out and run, but to stay with Hugoton here, I think you got to slow the pace here as we're down the midway point of this third quarter. Hager with it. Pass it between two Beavers, and then it was deflected and stolen away. 10th Hugoton turnover, and Scott City can inch it even closer, and they will with the Lawson Bailey layup. All of a sudden, it's an 8-point game, 33-25, 3:50 to go third quarter. The closest Scott City has been since the middle of the second quarter. They're on a 7-0 run, their largest run of the night, to pull to within 8. Driving in, here's Emmett Gaskell. They're working around the corner. Here's a Hager 3, too strong, and into the hands of Dylan Metzger. Scott City can add to this run of 7 in a row. Metzger will take it all the way. He'll see a shot blocked and then knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Hugoton. It'll be Scott City's ball. As Riley Riddlesberger checks back in, he's okay. That's good to see. And also in is Alexis Jimenez, as that will be Griffin Hager and Emmett Gaskell. So Scott City still with an opportunity to add to their 7-0 run. Down 8, 3:27 to go third quarter, into Jackson Rumford. Now a nice cut. Chirango, he'll be fouled going up, and that'll be the 4th foul on Isaac Martin with 3:24 here in the third quarter. And Hugoton's 3rd foul of the half. Alex Chirango with a 56% free throw shooting percentage coming into tonight. Scott City looking for the first charity shot make, and they got it. And it's an 8-0 run, 33-26, 3:24 to go third quarter, and Isaiah Harris will check in for Isaac Martin. Boy, you talk about a big bruising quarterback there for Hugoton. That was Martin. He's just a junior. 6'2", about 205 pounds. Second free throw for Chirango. That one too strong, and the rebound out high left to Deshaun Lewis. Scott City on an 8-0 run to within 7. 3:20 to go third quarter, 33-26. And Brooks Bailey in for the first time, the 5'10 sophomore. Riddlesberger with it out high. He goes left side of the pass in the left corner to Jimenez. Now up top, stepping back is Bennett, back to Riddlesberger. Riddlesberger, Scott City in a 2-3 zone, back to Bennett. He'll launch a 3. He'll knock it down. His 5th point of the night, 36-26 with 2:57 to go third quarter. The third 3 for Hugoton tonight. Lawson Bailey brings it across. And wrap around up top to Metzger, left side to Brooks Bailey. He'll drive left baseline, is cut off. Bounce pass right into the hands of Isaiah Harris, and Scott City's 9th turnover of the night. Then Sean Lewis loses the ball but picks it back up. He'll get it to Riddlesberger to avoid the kin count into the front court. Up top to Harris. They're working around left side to Alexis Jimenez. Back up top to Deshaun Lewis. Riddlesberger from long range, yes. And back-to-back Hugoton threes makes this a 39-26 game with 2:20 to go third quarter. And Hugoton with back-to-back threes, they've now hit 4 on the night. 2:15 to work third quarter. High-low into Rumford, catches it, goes up and banks it home. He has 12, 39-28 with 2:07 to go third quarter. And Scott City ends the quick 6-0 Hugoton run. 2 minutes to go third quarter. Riddlesberger almost walked with it there. Deshaun Lewis. Now left corner to Alexis Jimenez. Back up top to Riddlesberger, and ball deflected out with 1:54 to go third quarter. It'll remain Eagle basketball. 39-28, Hugoton in the lead underneath the Harris. Hangs, bank shot good. He has 10 in this quarter, 12 for the night. And it's 41-28 with 1:46 to go third quarter. Now Bailey takes it strong to the rack, and he gets a stack between the backboard and the rim. But it's a foul on Carson Bennett, his 3rd with 1:43 to go here this third quarter. And already 4th team foul on Hugoton in this period, and none on Scott City. Bailey to the line where he is 0 for 1 there. Missed a front end of a 1-and-1. He has 6, make that 8 tonight. and he cannot get that to go. Scott City, I don't know if it's just being here at home or not, but they are 1 of 6 from the line tonight. They had about 3 or 4 good games in a row at the line, but not tonight. And Bailey cannot hit that one as it's into the hands of Deshaun Lewis, and sometimes that just gets into your head a little bit. 41-28, Riddlesberger with it. Now up top to Harris with minute 32 to go. And now Bennett will just chuck up a 3 and bury it. 44-28, an 8-2 run for Hugoton over the last minute and a half. 1:23 to go, third quarter. And just like that, they're up by 16, their largest lead of the night, and now a steal. Things starting to unravel for Scott City a bit here, as that'll be their 10th turnover of the night. And now Lewis will hit a 3. 47-28 with 1:06 to go, third quarter, and Hugoton has hit their last 4 threes, and then a foul on Deshaun Lewis, his first, and the team's 4th of the half. Hugoton on a 14-2 run over the last 2 minutes. They've done it with 4 threes behind the arc, 2 by Bennett, 1 by Riddlesberger, and 1 by Lewis. And Bailey is out as Trango back in with a minute to go, third quarter. Here's Trango driving right side. He'll take it in on Jimenez. Wraparound pass. Metzger, can he answer back with a 3? Oh, that went halfway in and out, and the rebound to Isaiah Harris. 50 seconds to work third quarter. Here comes Bennett all the way. Layup good. He now has 8 in this quarter, 10 for the game. 49-28 with 44 seconds to go, third quarter. That's how explosive Hugoton can be. They're on a 16-2 run, and Coach Brian Gentry wants a 30 with 36.5 seconds to go, third quarter. And all of a sudden, it's a 21-point game at 49-28. Scott City had it to within 7 3 minutes ago. Basketball presented by First National Bank, Fairleigh Companies, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Huon-Berta-Benz. Also, DeKalb Bayer, Shells Flowers and More, Brookover Cattle Company, Burning Farms Beef Belt, Beavertown FFL, Bartlett Grain, B&H Paving, and American Implement. Scott City had it to within 33-26 with about 3:24 to go, third quarter, on a free throw by Alex Trango. And all of a sudden, Hugoton is on a 16-2 run over the last 2.5 minutes. And just like that, it's 49-28. But Hugoton has hit their last 4 threes, and they haven't been easy threes. And Scott City ended up taking a full timeout out of this. But you had 2 from Carson Bennett from deep range. Riley Riddlesberger hit a 3, his 3rd of the night. And then Deshaun Lewis joined the three-point party. They're 4 of 4 on threes in this third quarter. And now 6 of 14 for the ball game. And all of a sudden, it's 21-point margin, 49-28 with 36.5 seconds to go, third quarter. But the big story is Isaiah Harris in the paint. He has 10 third quarter points, and 2 of those are on second chance putbacks. He has 12 in the game. 3 Eagles in double figures. Rumford with it. He has 12 to lead Scott City. Now to Metzger with 20 seconds to work third quarter. Into Rumford at the foul line. Pivots, and then he gets tied up, and that's going to be a turnover. It's 11th Scott City turnover. And back in the lineup will be Alexis Jimenez and Griffin Hager. Isaiah Harris and Emma Gaskell exit for Hugoton as they look to add to their big run here in this third quarter with 18.8 to go. 49-28 your score. Lewis will let the ball roll to about three-quarters court and then pick it up. Bounce pass right side to Isaiah Harris. Back up top, they're working around to Lewis. Around the perimeter to Riddlesberger, but intercepted by Alex Tarango. He'll take it in on Riddlesberger. He'll lay it up. Oh, he missed it. Might have been blocked. And the rebound goes to Hugoton's Riddlesberger with 1 second. He'll launch about a 30-footer. And that one rimmed in and out to close out the third quarter. But Hugoton went on a 16-2 run to lead 49-28 to go to the fourth quarter. Back in a minute. This is Beaver basketball.
With over 10 years of experience, Jamie at JW Enterprise can repair your windshield quickly and conveniently. Even if you don't have time to make it to the shop, Jamie can fix your windshield from your home, or he can come get your vehicle for you. JW Enterprise is insured and Safe Flight certified. He might be operating under a different name, but Jamie still provides the same quality of service. Let Jamie at JW Enterprise fix that chip in your windshield now. Find JW Enterprise on Facebook or give him a call at 785-260-7773.
49-28, Hugoton heading into the fourth quarter with the lead. Scott City's ball. As Scott City will get it into Camden Volgamore to begin this fourth 8 minutes. Scott City led by Jackson Rumford with 12. And Lawson Bailey with 8. And that's 20. Their 28 tie-up will turn it back over to Hugoton. Things starting to unravel a little bit for Scott City in this fourth quarter here, as Hugoton has built up all of a sudden a 21-point lead after Scott City had it to within 7 at 33-26. 16-2 run for Hugoton to close the third quarter. And Deshaun Lewis turns down the three, but he shuffles the feet, and he has turnover number 13 for Hugoton. So both teams with a turnover to begin this fourth quarter. 49-28, Hugoton in the lead. Scott City's ball, and that's going to be a charge on Lawson Bailey. He's called for pushing off on Deshaun Lewis. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers in this fourth quarter. Bailey's first foul. We've had 34 seconds of this fourth quarter, no shot attempts and 3 turnovers combined. With it is Emmett Gaskell up top, goes to the right, and Riddlesberger launches the three, too strong, and the rebound tipped around, and that'll be last touch by Hugoton, and it'll belong to Scott City. Riddlesberger with 13 to lead Hugoton. He has 3 threes. And then 10 for Carson Bennett and 12 for Isaiah Harris. And now with it, here's Coy Vance taking it strong, pump fakes, and now finds Metzger out high with 7 minutes to go. He'll drive in, he'll lay it up, but blocked out by Isaiah Harris. Still got to love the effort of trying to get it to the rack and trying to draw a foul, but Hugoton there blocks the shot. They have about 4 or 5 blocks tonight, and Scott City will inbound underneath their own basket. Bailey will get it right side to Jackson Rumford. He'll get it into Bailey through a double team, but he's fouled beforehand. And I believe they're going to get Gaskell with the foul. That'll be team foul number 6 on Hugoton. It'll be a foul on the floor, the first on Emmett Gaskell. Bailey to inbound it in with 6:53 to go to Dylan Metzger. He'll try a 3 over Riddlesberger, too strong. Bailey will rip it away, but it's a tie-it beforehand. And it'll still stay, though, with Scott City, as Metzger just struggling from the field tonight. Only 2 points for him, coming in averaging 11.5 a game. Vance to inbound it here. Up top to Rumford, now to Lawson Bailey. He'll drive right side. Back to Volgamore, with 6:42 to go. Low pass, but Vance loses it. And then we're going to get a holding foul on Vance. And now they're going to get a technical foul. Oh, insult to injury there for Scott City, and Vance will pick up his 3rd and 4th fouls. And technical free throws coming up here for Deshaun Lewis. That's the first couple fouls of the second half on Scott City. Lewis with the free throw, good. Hugoton now 4 of 6 to the line. They lead at 50-28 with 6:39 to go. And Lewis hits them both. He has 9. 51-28, 6:39 left, and then they will. Alex Stringer checking in for Vance, who picked up fouls 3 and 4. That was just a frustration foul there with him, and I believe it was Gaskell there. He committed the foul and then a little extracurricular there. And Hugoton trying to add to this 23-point lead. Fadeaway left baseline. Wow, what a shot by Bennett. He has a dozen. 53-28. It is a 7. Make that a 20-2 run. 6:15 to go. Here's a Metzger 3. Short rebound. Saved into play to Rumford. He'll drive in. Pump fakes. Hangs, and he's fouled. He'll get 2 free throws. That'll be on Emmett Gaskell, his 2nd, 7th team foul. And Rumford, who's 0 for 2 at the line tonight, looking to add to his 12-point total and add the bleeding. It's a 14-0 Hugoton run, and he does just that, 53-29. 6:07 to go. Isaac Martin in to replace Isaiah Harris. Only 2 seniors on this Hugoton team, by the way. Rumford hits them both, 53-30. They're now 3 of 9 at the line. 6:05 to go. 23-point Eagle lead. Lewis will go now. Reverse layup too strong for Bennett. Tipped in the paint, and it's going to be picked up by Deshaun Lewis. He has found his way in there, and now Emma Gaskell layup. He has 4:55-30 with 5:51 to go. And a timeout on the floor taken by Hugoton. We'll take it as well. It is a full timeout. 5:51 left. 55-30. Hugoton back in a minute. This is Beaver basketball.
To us, it's about so much more than just providing the technology. It's about enriching the communities we live in. Because your community is our community. Where you live, where you work, where you play, we do too. Whatever you do, and wherever you are, our service supports you. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
There's nothing more spacious than Western Kansas, and nobody closer than our communities. We are determined to keep our communities connected to schools, kids to teachers and parents. We believe a connected world is a better place. We're more than what we do for our hometowns. It's what we do with our hometowns. S&T is proud to be your family, your friends, your neighbor.
See us at First National Bank of Scott City, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
5:40 to go in this game. Scott City down 55-30. Hugoton with a big run, and Bailey can't get a 3 to go. Scott City can't buy a basket, and Hugoton back the other way with the rebound. In the hands of Martin there. As Hugoton has owned the glass here once again tonight. They have just out-hustled Scott City. Now, Scott City had good position in some of those defensive boards. Wrap around Lewis for 3, why not? He has 14, 58-30 with 5:13 to go. All of a sudden, it's a 28-point game. To Eloy Ruelas, he'll look to drive in, lob it into Bailey, catches it. Now trying to go up, and he'll bank it in for 10-point, 58-32, 4:57 to go. And Scott City back to within 26. But Hugoton got hot. They went on their big run. Scott City just could not recover. Up top now. Here's Bennett. He'll drive in, flip it behind him. Here's Martin for 2. Crawls off, and Alex Trenga with his 3rd board of the night with the rebound. And then turned it over by Scott City, their 15th of the night. 4:28 to go in this one. 58-32. Hugoton with the lead. Up top, Tim McGaskill. He'll drive in on Rumford, loses the dribble, but picks it back up, falls to his knees. Lewis for another 3. No. Rebound tipped and in the hands of Camden Vogelmore for Scott City. In transition to Rumford. Backing his way in, goes up, flips a tough shot. No. Gets his own rebound. Yes. He has 16 tonight. 58-34 with 4 minutes to go in this one. Scott City's been better on the offensive glass in this second half, and now here's Martin. His reverse layup, no, is blocked out there by Rumford. It'll still stay with Hugoton with 3:50 to go. This is a Hugoton team that I think could make some noise in 4A, and they're sitting pretty good right now on a 9-game win streak. We have an official timeout. I'll let Sage Steckline back in the game. With 3:50 to go, he will replace Camden Vogelmore. Scott City's going to drop to 6 and 7, but you know they've got a lot of winnable games here down the stretch. Stripped out of there, but Alexis Jimenez, no follow up, yes. And Isaac Martin with his 5th point, and Scott City continues to be owned on the offensive glass. That's 10 offensive boards, but there's been a lot of points for Hugoton scored on second chance opportunities. 3.5 to go, 60-34. Alex Trango fires a deep 2, no, and a whistle and a foul to the back. That'll be on Sage Steckline. That'll be his first, team's 4th of the half. Trango with 6 points tonight. I believe that's a season high for him. Yeah. 4th quarter, 3:26 to go. Griffin Hager back in. As Hugoton is up by 26 here. 3:26 to go in this one. They'll sweep the season series with Scott City. and improved 11-2, 2-0 in the league. League favorites there. Now back, here's Isaac Martin, pump fakes on the three. He'll drive in, his layup too strong, and Alex Tarango with the backside board. Well, I kept it in the family there. Here's hanging, shooting, and a foul. Hard foul on Lawson Bailey. He'll get 2 free throws here with 3:01 to go. Oh, my. Carson Bennett, his 4th foul with 3:01 to go. 8th team foul on Scott City. Lawson Bailey, who struggled with the line tonight, 0 of 3. Scott City, 3 of 9 there tonight. Riddlesberger and also Jay Acosta, a 6-foot sophomore, in for the first time for Hugoton. Scott City playing a little shorthanded without Avery Knoll, and with his length, could have made a little bit of a difference here. And it was a slow start for both teams, but then they kind of picked it up in that third quarter. And Bailey rims around a free throw in. He has 11, 60-35 with 3:01 left. It's Cimarron on Friday, Hayes on Tuesday, Ulysses in 10 days from tonight. Bailey with 2 free throws there, 60-36. 3 minutes exactly to go in this one. So Scott City back to within 24 after Hugoton has had a big lead of 28 in this one. Riddlesberger. Now here's Deshaun Lewis driving in. Back to Martin at the right elbow. Back out high. They go to Costa. Back up top to Riddlesberger. 2:40 left in this one. And now Hager will put on the floor. Back up top Lewis. He'll drive in. Hangs. Shot up, and it'll just crawl in, of course. 62-36 with 2.5 to go over Rumford that time. And Scott City's deficit now at 26 again. Metzger with it, uses up a dribble, goes to Alex Trango. He'll try take it strong to the rack, and too strong, and the rebound here is Lewis in transition to Riddlesberger. No look pass underneath to Martin for 2. He has 7, 64-36, 2:10 to go. And it'll be Brooks Bailey. Also in there will be Brendan Bailey and Eloy Ruelas in for Scott City, along with Camden Volgamore. We have a whole bunch of subs in for both teams. And it'll be Julian Delgado, a 6-foot sophomore. Let's see, Alexis Jimenez, also Grant Nyhu's a 6'3 sophomore. So the final 2 minutes will just be a continuation of the JV game. 64-36, Hugoton on top. Steckline with it, goes left to Camden Volgamore, trying to get a screen. Now goes left corner to Brooks Bailey. He'll drive in. Up top to Brendan Bailey. He'll go right side to Volgamore and turns down the 3. Drive right baseline. Gets bumped from behind. Can't get that one. It goes out. Goes halfway in and out, and Hugoton with the rebound. Now he's with that rebound. Minute 40 to go in this one. And now with it is Jimenez. He'll drive into the paint. Needs help. Right side. Here's a Griffin Hager 3. Good. 67-36, 90 seconds to go. And Hugoton with another 3 in this half. And deflected but picked up by Camden Volgamore. Goes right side to Brooks Bailey. He'll drive right side. Is cut off. Minute 15 to go. It'll be a continuous clock. It's a 31-point game. And that ball deflected and a turnover. 16th turnover, driving in, layup good for Jimenez. His first basket, 69-36, 1 minute to go in this one. Scott City, where this one just unraveled in a hurry. Hugoton got hot and couldn't recover. It was 33-26 with about 3:24 to go third quarter. Ball out of bounds, last touch by Hugoton. Since then, it's been a 36-8 run. As then it'll be Giovanni Baeza, 6'3 senior, to replace Griffin Hager. 30 seconds to go on this one, and Scott City will regroup and go to Cimarron on Friday. Try to snap a 3-game losing streak there. Volgamore will go up, he's fouled. He'll have a chance at 2 free throws here and 2 points here tonight with 18 seconds, which will probably close the game out. Giovanni Baeza his first, ninth team foul, excuse me. Volgamore, first of 2 free throws, no good. Time is going to run out on this one. I think they'll let him shoot the second free throw and end it here. Nope, that's it. 69-36 your final. Scott City falls in this one. Post-game show to begin in 3 minutes. This is Beaver basketball.
As your local
Scott Cooperative Association is